It cracks
Right.
me up too. The official animal of Gryderdam being the lion. Like, fucking Spoon's gonna make you all lion mecha. Make game
Oh,
turns into
it's
Voltron.
literal Voltron. Yeah.
Fuck that, we're turning this into Zoids.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I hated Zoids by comparison. Now that we bring it up. Anyway, can we just get started in the game?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm
yeah.
back. Yeah.
Long
I said
overdue.
they don't feel like playing anymore. I think I'm gonna head out.
Oh shit.
Oh no, we made fun
no.
of your anime. Oh no.
There we go.
If you
I
leave,
didn't watch it. I
you're
just
excommunicado.
9:30 EST.
Dante shoots me with a raise. He doesn't want to hear Strike Laser Claw again.
All right, so we begin the game with Dragon Force as we always do.
Nice. As is tradition.
We actually spent the bulk of the last session at the hospital, if I remember correctly. And it was a lot of waiting around for Prasik and Shriver to get better, at which point Shriver was abducted by
That's
a
right. You
criminal
guys
element.
started in the beginning of the game. The last session was the gunfight in the
True.
warehouse, and that's when Prasik realized that he is the old man equivalent of a twink to heavies.
oh.
They just could not leave him alone, you know.
Resist punching me in the fucking face.
You gotta
Alright, do we go after the 400-pound robot with a shotgun, or do we go after the old man with a fucking 1911 who killed some guy as soon as he came to the door?
He looks frail, boys. Get him. So yeah, you guys did get. Well, Prasik got beat up a little bit, and you guys went to the hospital. Somebody came and picked up Shriver. You're not really sure who. You have some theories, I guess.
Yes. we got a
But she was removed from the hospital and taken to another location. You know what they say about being taken to a second location.
I really don't.
never be taken to a second location. Yeah.
Someone spell this out for me. My character's 5.
After all of this, you guys went back to the Prasik estate, Prasik townhouse, I should say, in Octorine, and are kind of figuring out where to go from there. You've got a couple of things on your plate as far as like you were planning for getting the or attacking the New Dawn. You guys have some prototype materials that you took before the GNA's R&D department and shuffled around some funding so that they're putting some of their factories in town to work on these portable shields for infantrymen for a supposed assault. Hawk was, or I should say Mr. Axel was nice enough to take care of that. As well as a few of the larger units for, say, the Jaeger mechs. What else did you guys do? Is that pretty much it? I think
We made Prasik's death beam.
That's true. You guys were working on the death beam. You have that basically ready to go. We didn't stat that, did we yet?
I remember us having like a brief conversation with Dante.
We did
about
have a
that.
little bit of a conversation. He also had a kind of neat write-up that he made for me.
Like
I don't know if he's
2D,
shared that. But...
2D8 or 2D10, but he also has a chance to apply fire.
Yeah. You look over here. God damn it. So not used to the fucking Microsoft Edge icon. Why did the fucking Roll20 have to break?
Out of curiosity, have you tried it again just to see if it's still goobed?
Well, now that both Spoon and Phoenix are having the problem, I doubt that it's fixed, but I'll check it right now. Because it's nice having everything in one fucking window.
Yeah.
Agreed. I went to Firefox and it's working.
I was just curious if you tried it or not. You don't have to, but...
I mean, it just take me a second to sign in over on the Google side.
I guess this would be Dante shooting me in the back.
Dude, I sneezed so hard it actually hurt.
It's Molly.
It's just me.
Yeah, it's still broken.
Boys club only.
No, she made it back to the store. She's fine.
Dante,
Gotta have locker room talk.
what is Prasik's agility?
D4 probably.
Oof.
No, and his
That
chump
can't be
looking.
true, because, isn't shooting's agility?
It doesn't have to be D12 to get it up there. But I'm just sitting here thinking, it's like, how much did he commit to just being the sniper guy?
Well, I mean, presumably when he, like, in his youth or whatever, he probably learned, but from a narrative perspective. But yes, mechanically speaking.
Ooh, that old bonus, man. -1 to agility, strength, and vigor. Whew.
At least it's just -1 and not, like, -1 die.
Yeah, he still doesn't have the fucking Prasik's laser beam in his
Nope.
character sheet.
Do not have it yet because we have not worked out actual stats. And I was just talking, and no, I was looking at the damage bone. I was saying all this before, and I realized my mic wasn't actually working. So we had roughly said, like, yeah, the laser could have the same damage as the rifle, but it won't have any AP, because its benefit will be like the first shot gate is that it can set people on fire.
Right.
Be toxic, dude. So dude would be like, "Hey man, can I ah!
I'm on fire! Holy shit!
My eyes! My skin! My skin!"
My skin's literally melting right now. Oh.
I can't wait for it, dude. You're gonna literally zap some heavy, and he's just gonna be like screaming inside his metal tin armor, and he's ah! It burns! And then there's just gonna be a little pile of ash inside. It's gonna be just like the Thousand Suns.
All right.
Some unfortunate member from Valois is just going to ask Prasik for a light, and all he's going to hear is...
I like to imagine it sounds more like that Tesla gun, but like a slight buzz. It's like.
I
just
never
hope
got
it
that thing
has
to
like
give me a noise.
a stupid amount of range, and like you can shoot up in the air, and it's like a distress beacon, and it's like parts.
All right,
Parts
well
of
let's iron this out real quick so
All
that
right.
we can get this running. So, let's say 2d8s. Here, I'm going to open up your character sheet. Have a look at
2D
it.
is essentially the same as the 98
Yeah.
millimeter. Yep.
So we'll throw a new weapon on here. No go. You can name it whatever you want to name it.
Ooh, I'm gonna give it exactly what I named it before and fucking right up. Hold on, let me open that back up.
The Wayside Gun.
The Wayside Gun. Because it has an acronym that I came up with. You change it to, it's the weaponized Savage augmented illumination device.
Yeah, that explanation has to be associated with a bunch of blank stares, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly as it would be in in world. Yes. Because see this little thing here holds the Savage. And this
So I just
backpack
put
is
the
this
Wayside
laundry
rifle in your inventory.
Okay, yep, I see it. Rate of fire 1.
Yep, we're gonna go rate of fire 1.
Alright, do you want to set to have the same range as the normal rifles? You want to like shorten its range?
I think I'm gonna shorten it to 20.
Okay.
So it'll be 20, 40, 80. I mean, atmospheric interference is a problem with lasers.
True.
There is no atmosphere. It's burned up by all the diesel. The
12,
food.
12, and AP is 0.
So 12 pounds, 20, 40, 80. We got that there. Okay, so We'll say in the notes 4 shots per fuse.
And it takes 3 reloads to fill it, essentially back all the way to full.
Oh, you could just rename that in the weapon thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm adding all the stuff in its notes right now.
Are you adding stuff, or you want me to add it?
I was adding it already. I was gonna say, put the chance to set on fire.
Yeah, actually, I can just grab the notes from the Kleinflammenwerfer.
I'm gonna say weight is how many pounds? I realize I haven't put a lot of weight on everything. And oh yeah, no, none of this should have weight because none of this is actually attached to me except for this.
What, you don't bring your anti-material rifle to your fucking dinners with the queen?
No, fuck no, I'm not bringing that everywhere with me. I brought it once and it was terrible, and I was like, yeah, I'm not taking that anymore.
I was gonna say, wasn't that when you were like carrying 4 other rifles? Or was that Hawk?
That was Hawk that was carrying like 4 different rifles.
I had
It was-
4 MP, what was it, MP18s or whatever that we collected.
Yeah.
Fucking
It was
I was like,
stupid.
dude, why am I
encumbered
rolling
by
so
rifles.
low? Oh no, it was Mosins. I collected a bunch of Mosins off some boys or whatever it was, and I was like, yeah, we'll just bring these back. And it's like,
Oh right.
and I couldn't get
okay,
anywhere.
let's see here.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's see. Chance to ignite 4 shots per fuse. Reloading is 1 fuse is 1 action. Contains 3 fuses max. And then we're gonna say. Oh, okay. Something moved.
Yeah, no, I accidentally made another weapon. I'm trying to delete it. There it is, gone. Okay.
Okay. So what's the damage on using 1 full fuse?
I was gonna say make it equivalent to a 20mm cannon, so 2d10 and give it just a little, like 2 AP. That's not so bad, right?
I think 2d10 is fine because the 20mm cannon is actually
2d12. Yeah.
So using a fuse will bring it up to 2d10 damage. So you probably have to put in multiple damage things if you're in here, if you want to just be able to click roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Like what I did with the shotgun and the weapon cheat sheet.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So add another damage type. How do I do that? Oh, I'll just make multiple of them, and I'll just make like
Yeah,
this
exactly,
one is
and
just
then-
like a wayside plus 1 or something.
And then all 3 fuses would be 2d12's heavy weapon.
Yep. Yeah, that'll bring it up to the equivalent of a 20mm cannon, and then it's a heavy weapon to actually damage like big armor targets.
Thick armor,
Thick with 2 C's.
not like my PP.
Ooh boy, that would be bad.
You'd still need to roll like a god to do any damage to armored targets, though.
Yeah.
It's
But,
not
you know,
past him. Let me tell you that much.
Not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Sat there and watched his rolls recently.
Why is it why is it fucking taking shit out of here? I keep trying to type and it keeps stopping.
Just a pen at Strigoi, that thing, you need to roll like a 26? No.
Well, we'll give it a AP 4, like the 20 mil has. Basically, just turns a laser into a 20 mil rifle. On the infantry scale, it's pretty fucking hardcore.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's just a dude carrying this thing. That's like a fucking godsend. We got a Strigoi coming around the corner. Give me a second. I need to brace.
Well, I mean, it's a laser rifle. There's no kick on it.
Bracing is cool.
But you can brace the fucking aim.
Ooh. Do I give it a scope? I give it a scope. And then I'll do +2. So we'll create another one and we'll make it the +2 version.
Downside, of course, is that a 20 mil can fire every round. You can fire this,
I can't.
fire this
I
thing
fire this thing one time.
once
and
every
that's
3
it.
rounds.
Yep. Oh, once every other round. Because it'll take me a whole round to reload it. Like, that's all I can do that round is reload it.
Why did it just fucking erase the shit that I just wrote down?
Oh, because I have 3 versions of it. You're probably, like, looking at the wrong thing, because I'm probably bumping it up every single time you write. I'm sorry. Because I'm adding
No, I'm
another
still
thing.
looking at the original one. I kept trying to throw those additional rules in, but I guess every time you modify something, it fucking...
Oh, it clicks you out? I'm sorry. Well, I'm done now, so...
Correct, idiot.
No,
Imagine.
it just did it again. I don't care. Fucking...
Fix it later.
I'm done. I don't care.
Was the eye
You
of
see,
the
reroll
tiger.
damage. If I click it, let's see what happens. Slightly better.
I was trying to add in the stuff on the 2d12 heavy weapon. A note to say 3 full fuses makes it that plus AP4, and then after 5 times of trying to type that in, I'm done.
Alright, I'll just do it.
So, let's get on to the fucking game. Now that we're an hour after the fact. Of course, my fault, boys, not yours. So, anyways, all right. So you guys are currently in the Prasic townhouse, and you really don't have any agenda waiting for you. Nobody else is actually like expecting you to do anything particularly. You've got all essentially irons in the fire that you need. It's up to you guys to figure out what you want to do with your time, or if you want to like launch the offensive or whatever. But as we mentioned, Shriver is nowhere to be found. Now, this, of course, doesn't particularly need to mean anything to your characters. You don't need, you don't owe her anything, you know. So, up to you guys how you guys want to proceed with that info.
I mean, okay, so if we try to retrieve her, it's going to be the potential of having to go against a very angry mafia. Potentially.
I mean, to be fair, she found us last time, she'll find us again.
Unless, you know, she owes them, like, a huge debt, or, you know, they just want her dead, or any other
I don't know. I mean,
handful
I
of
think she's
possibilities.
an asset of theirs, but I think she was trying to get away from them. She's trying to do something different with her life.
True enough.
So currently
Although-
you guys are having, I'll say that it's the morning after all of this stuff has happened. You guys have actually slept in, or I should say that the evening after. You guys have slept in for the day, getting your schedules kind of synced up, and you're deciding what you're going to do with that evening. Mr. Balk has had dinner prepared for you guys already. You guys have just had supper, and now you guys are sitting on the second floor sun parlor, looking out towards the Lake Octorind off to the west. Kind of meditating on what you're going to be, or how you're going to proceed from here on.
so here's the real question, right? Is like I don't remember who heard her say that, but she said that, you know, she knew that her boys would come for her. So I don't know. I mean, do you think that she meant us, or do you think that she meant them?
Well, being that she laughed, I'm pretty sure she laughed in their face when she saw us. So, and we've also been the one in which, we've been running around with her of late. So, I'd like to think she assumed it was us, but again, some people have their own motives. She was definitely not interested in a lot of the things we did. She just kind of was there for the ride, so to speak. So maybe we were just
Maybe.
the modem of transportation for her life adventure.
Well, all things considered, right now, I mean, if you're so interested in making sure that she's okay, Vought, and I guess it'd be imperative that you do as well too, Axel. Maybe we should go see if she's doing okay, and I guess we can try and figure out where. If I was a part of the underbelly, the dirty criminal underbelly of Octarine, where would I hang out?
Searching back into your memory, you know that Octarine has always had kind of a criminal element. Any major city does. Obviously, any place where a lot of transportation is happening is going to be a place where there will be increased activity for things such as smugglers and black markets. But honestly, you don't really run in those circles, so it's hard for you to pinpoint where an actual headquarters would be. Common sense dictates that, obviously there are people who are more in line with that sort of things, or with that sort of lifestyle. This would be likely like detectives, other criminal underworld elements like loan sharks and whatnot might have a better idea of where to contact a local mafia. But you yourself don't know, like, if there's like the equivalent of a Wayne Manor for,
Bad
the
guys.
mafia, for the bad guys. There's no giant Skull Island out in the harbor
where
somewhere.
Doomsday friends hang out.
What
Yeah.
kind of mafia doesn't have their own island?
They do. There's two of them. You see them all around the west coast over there.
What do you think, Vought? If you were someone who partook in illegal activities, where would you go right now?
I'm not, and fuck you for thinking that.
Well, I mean, and that is true. Like, I'm not, but
I said if you
could
were,
surmise.
hypothetically,
No,
first
I'm
of
not.
all.
No, I'm not taking any offense to it. I'm just saying, like, obvious. And even if I did know those things, I wouldn't know it specifically about Octarine because I'm not from here. But
Well, you hung out
there
with
is
her
an
for several
important-
days. Where did she like to go?
There's an important
Bars.
part of this, and it's like, where is it that she has been? Where is it that she would spend her time? Wait a minute.
Thank you, Terminus.
She was staying here, right?
Yes, but she was also leaving almost every night to go somewhere, and I believe you and Terminus hung out with her for at least one night.
Yeah, that is true, but no.
Terminus,
more
do you
so-
remember where you guys went?
Yes.
See? If we were to, take a trip, see if we can go see him. Do you and I guess you and Vought would have to see if you recognize any of the faces out there. Maybe we can get some more information, figure out where she is, where they're keeping her.
That seems ill-advised.
I want to
It
go
does.
actually and check the room that she was staying in and see if there was anything that she left behind, because obviously she wasn't counting on getting abducted.
The last time we went out, we went to a grand total of 2 bars before we quite literally ran into Alyosha.
Well, we don't have to worry about Alyosha anymore.
Until I've gunned him down, I believe he is still a concern.
Most of his men are dead, though. I mean,
I don't think those
Places-
are most of his men. If he's running the mafia out of town, he's doing it with more than 4 guys.
As
My-
unapprised I am of criminal enterprises, I would assume that 6 men does not constitute most of his men.
excellent
Worst mafia ever.
Maybe they're just super elite, like the baddest James Bonds you've ever known.
You're actually just a barbershop quartet.
Honestly, that'd be an awesome cover. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? If I make a D&D pancake, I'm definitely gonna make it where
Pancake?
there's a
He's gonna
D&D
make a campaign,
campaign,
and there's gonna be a barbershop quartet that's the
It's
mob
just
in a
shaped
local
like
town.
and
Should just
it's
be a
exactly
choir.
shaped like a D20.
they're gonna be the big baddies holding the whole town hostage.
They're gonna be the
Alright,
choir
anyway.
boys. That's what you should call them.
The barbershop pancakes.
So genius. Anyway, I don't think that I don't think those are his only guys. I definitely think that we're gonna have to be careful still, because I mean, obviously he's gonna still be out there and he's gonna have people, but at the same time, we've also probably like really made him upset by first of all killing 4 of his henchmen, and then most likely he had them capture her for information, and we bailed her out, which means now he has lost one of his chess pieces, so to speak.
We recaptured the queen.
No, I feel pretty good about all of those things you just said.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't
realistically,
remember
I don't
that.
mean to be that guy, but I mean, she came to.
We stole his rooks. We
She
retook
technically
the queen.
came to us.
These analogies are terrible. Please stop.
We've met our end of the deal with everything, as far as giving her things that she wanted, allowing her somewhere to stay. Like, don't.
We're like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind her being a part of
checkmate in 3 more moves, Terminus.
our team, but I don't think we necessarily need her as part of our team. Basically, what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna go do other things trying to find her and lose my focus on getting these Russians out of my lands. So, I mean, maybe if we have some off time, we can ask around. Maybe we'll go
I
down
think
to the
that
the
we
police
have that
sergeant.
off time right now, though. Like we're just waiting for things to fall into place and for work to get done, right?
I mean, part of it, unless you guys are just done and wanting to sit around until Octarine Army is finished with all the developments and such, then yeah, I mean, I guess technically we are just kind of waiting.
As a matter of fact, Dr. Axel, I could use your expertise in a number of projects.
Dr. Prasik and Terminus, I want you guys to make opposed battle rolls.
Uh-oh.
I don't have battle.
Neither of you have battle?
I don't
Unskilled
have.
losers.
Make opposed battle rolls. Unskilled, then. Oh, yeah. Dr. Prasik is killing you in chess, Terminus.
I'm gonna come up behind Terminus and look over his shoulder and flaunt my big old wrinkly brain and take a chess
Ooh.
piece and move it for him.
And lose the game for him.
This piece can do that.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's such a young boy, but he's growing so fast.
Dr. Axel comes up and makes a move and narrows the gap.
But not enough.
Prasik still has the advantage.
As Terminus is playing, what projects are you interested in my help with? Most of what you do is more towards Dr. Prasik's expertise.
Mostly because Dr. Prasik tends to help with my projects. However, as recent, well, not so recent as much as is an increasing concern that my expertise does not lie within the medical field, your area of expertise. As a matter of fact, I was hoping to fashion and integrate a number of tools to assist you when you would do such procedures.
Okay.
Levy out the work. In addition,
Are you like suggesting like a? I mean, my medical bag has some very light, like, medical scissors, a scalpel, needle and thread for stitching up any kind of wounds or anything. What are you kind of thinking? What is your idea as far as what you're wanting to build? Like a multi-tool or?
pumps, mechanical shears, a gas holder,
Ooh,
Pumps, mechanical shears, a gas holder.
why would you even need mechanical? Oh wait, never
a
mind.
miniaturized
Well,
sewing machine.
Sewing machine. Well, I
That
don't.
sounds good.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to be sewing machine somebody, as far as like their leg or something like that goes. It could prove to be risky with,
We are
there's so
likely
many
to be going
cycles.
into a combat scenario with massive casualties. You may not have the luxury.
Yeah, slow sewing is not a good idea.
So potentially, if you guys worked on something and figured it all out, Terminus could use one of his empty modules to simulate a hospital environment in the field.
Wait, you're
with,
telling
like-
me you're telling me this boy rolls out of bed? I could put somebody in there and like start an operation and
No.
put somebody's leg back in?
No. But I'm
Oh.
saying that he could have like miniaturized tools that aren't generally available in the field situations, like respirators and like stuff for intubation, shit like that.
An
they
oxygen
could help you
pump, a tube of some kind that goes down the esophagus, just something to pump out fluid from a lung. Shit that you generally don't have the luxury of in a battlefield scenario.
Yeah,
Invent defibrillators.
In addition, I have two other ideas based on my limited knowledge of human wound mending.
bone setting.
I'm saying essentially, if he did that, and you guys rolled well enough, what it would do for you, Dr. Axel, is make it so that you could perform surgery in a more sterile environment on the go, essentially. So you could provide hospital level attention, like surgical attention, out in the middle of the battlefield with him there, like providing all of the other things that he would be carrying, the styptics, antiseptics, and all of that other shit. But like, like clean drapes to put over the fucking area so that dust doesn't go flying into open wounds and etc.
Okay.
In addition, my other idea is a countermeasure to the particles that emanate from Savange.
Oh,
I would need Dr. Axel's expertise in how these interact with human musculature, cell structures. A general overview would be nice.
I have a book. I mean, technically, that's my area of expertise. I mean, radiation, Savange
He's
poisoning
like-
is brand new to him.
He, Dr. Praxis walks over to a shelf, pulls a book off the shelf and goes, "I have a book." Then taps on it where it says "Doctor," written by Dr. Praxic. Oh, I wrote this book. Would you look at that?
Oh, I guess I am an expert.
It's actually
That is
going
my
nuts.
expertise.
Who'd have thought?
And lastly, in the case of a hostage scenario, I could also work on an anesthetic bomb.
Why did we never think of anesthetic grenades?
Likely
It's a
because
terrible
inappropriately using anesthetic is apparently lethal to you.
Wait, do you mean I would come up with lethal measure for it, or are you just saying it would be dangerous for me?
The only one, as I recall, who is a registered anesthesiologist is Dr. Axel.
Oh, yes.
I like the idea of this, and this is portable in the field anytime. It's just it'll be available, is what you're saying.
As long as I am not destroyed.
Okay. Well then, yeah, absolutely. This is actually. Wow. Okay. Well, hold on. If we're gonna do this, how would you feel about doing it right, and getting all of the R&D department, or at least some aspect of them, to support the development of it, and I can use this as a prototype in the field for potential, for potentially for using in a mass situation. All medics would be assigned this out in the field. This could be available to any of the units to help save lives. I mean, obviously we're running a prototype, so I'm not going to be like, oh, it's the It's the best idea ever, but if it works,
If it works, you can have essentially medical assistant XK models running around to assist
that's
the medics in the field.
exactly what I was thinking. Is like a medical XK unit that would provide like triage support right there in the field, and there's no telling. That's a fantastic idea. You still have access to R&D, right? You can. I'm assuming it's not going to be revoked.
Correct. However, not to assuage your enthusiasm, but the materials that I would likely require would be almost in excess of 40 kilograms and be directly integrated into my systems. To do the same for an XK unit would require rapid restructural enhancements.
Well, I mean,
Well,
we've already
What
seen
if it's designed?
slightly different XK units out there in the field, right?
Yeah, we'll get an XK unit that is actually designed from the ground up to support it. It'll be a medically based one instead of like a general purpose, like utility. I guess would be the wording. I'm sure R&D could come up with something. I mean, they've made all kinds of advancements. Surely they can come up with a. Wait, how? Okay, so if you're 40 kilograms, how are you going to be able to support it with all the stuff you have?
I have a number of empty space currently being filled with what is effectively ballast in preparation for modules to be integrated.
Oh. Okay. So you've already basically with all your upgrades you can determine what you want and do not want. Well, okay. Well, no, I mean, the idea
He's
is
running
great.
at an operational weight right now, and essentially has a bunch of dead weight in his components that are there to keep the chassis
Like a
operating at its optimal weight.
Like a plane,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Right, like counterbalances and stuff.
Yeah.
So he just hollows it out and puts the module in there that's the expected weight that it should be.
How soon do you want to start, Terminus?
How soon are you available?
Like yesterday. This is a fantastic idea.
Very well.
Dr. Prazik, do you have anything that you're expecting to take care of? I hate to just run away with this idea, but this is actually could be groundbreaking.
Most of my work is nearly finished. I don't really need Dash 2 for much else. I could probably get some assistance from the other machinists at the R&D labs. In any case, I was going to suggest to Vought that maybe we should just go for a walk and see if we can find anything on our missing Shriver.
Are you sure you both want to go alone?
Dr.
Wouldn't that be
Prasik, you can sense Mr. Balk lurking at the edge of the room.
Yes? Stalk, come in.
Doctor, the focusing lenses that you asked for are, they have arrived.
Oh.
The packages are here. He walks over and places a thing of, like, freshly machined focusing lenses.
Ah, yes, this is what I was talking about before, Terminus. Remember the quartz lenses that we needed for the device I'm building?
Correct. If we have any left over, let me know.
I'm just gonna hold them up, look at them through the light.
They look finely crafted. Probably Octorine's best, usually what you pay for.
Yep. Gonna, like, do the quick measurement, like, when you're burning an ant with the magnifying glass. Trying to get that pinpoint.
It focuses to quite literally pinpoint size.
Ah, yes, this will do nicely. I'm gonna package them back up in the box, put it away carefully. You said this was the evening. All right, well,
Yeah.
Tomorrow I guess tomorrow I'll be accompanying you to the lab instead of walking around aimlessly with Vought. Where is Vought? Did he go upstairs already?
He's pooping.
Yes, I am upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why I exited myself from the conversation.
Mr. Vought, go ahead and make an investigation roll in the room that Shriver's been staying in. Oh.
There you go.
Hello.
easy. What's up? I'm Batman. Hello.
Okay. You find trace evidence of her DNA all over the place. You don't know what it
Whoa.
is, but you've
Right.
you've got it.
Oh,
Tastes
well,
it.
that's good.
No, there is a what is it called? Like a show slip for
Yeah, I was
the.
expecting like a journal or like something that would have the dates of when she was performing somewhere.
There's a show slip for that advertises like a local music night, I guess, at one of the high society clubs called the Lilac Wreath. This takes place. Oh. The Lilac Wreath is a place in southern Octorine, near the South Gate. It's a high society place, like a suit and tie sort of situation. That's about all you know based on investigation, or I should say, having
Okay,
found
so-
that, like, in the room.
Right, I'm just making sure that I have everything written correctly. So you said it's a place called the Lilac Wreath, which is at this South Gate in Octorine, and it's a high society place. Now, does it have a specific date on it, or does it just say like Thursdays or something?
The show flyer says that it is essentially for a special engagement taking place. It would be Friday, which is, if it's the date is correct. Well, let's see. Be 2 days from now. It's Wednesday evening. The Lilac Wreath is, like I said, a high society bar that specializes in music and like entertainment for the many rich, affluent socialites. Dr. Prasic has probably been there plenty of times, but he
Okay.
hasn't seen this flyer yet.
Cool. Yeah, so I take the flyer, and I continue looking over the room, because like this seems like a good lead, but I just want to make sure that I don't find anything else that could be of value. And I mean, this seems pretty solid. So after, I don't know, I imagine that it probably takes me the duration of that entire conversation, and maybe a couple minutes extra.
Yeah, you're kind of like going through all of the stuff, making sure you don't miss anything. But it doesn't seem as though Shriver has like traveled particularly heavily. Like,
right, and I know she didn't like bring a bunch of clothes or anything like that.
right, she's actually fucking still operating mostly on Hakan's wife's clothing.
Gotcha. The flyer, where was it in the room? Was it like, I imagine that it was like in a bookcase or something, like tucked in as like a bookmark or something.
Okay. Yeah, it was on the bedside table, and you had to actually leaf through the book in order for the pamphlet or the flyer to fall out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so I take that, including the book that it was in, and I.
The book
head
is
back
entitled
downstairs.
the Royal Families, or excuse me, the. How do I have it? Fucking, let me look at my document file. The Significant Families and Heraldry of Octoron, or of Gryderdom, is the name of the book.
So like that just makes me think that she probably wasn't like actually reading this book, that it was just tucked away in there.
I mean,
But maybe, I don't know.
do what you will with that info. It was on the bedside table. With your investigation roll, you can head down to one of the libraries, and you'll find that it was taken from the personal book stash here in one of the parlors.
You said that was the heraldry and lineage?
Yeah, it's
Is that right? Okay.
essentially the history of significant families in
Yeah.
Gryderdom.
But I was making sure I had the title.
And heraldry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and so with that, I head back downstairs. The book in hand, as well as the scream sheet.
The screen
And-
sheet.
Yeah, the scream sheet. Yeah, and I head down and listen to the end of their conversation if they're not if they're still talking. or if everyone's working, then I go and interrupt.
One moment.
Sure.
Make your unskilled battle rolls.
Oof.
It seems as though Mr. Axel has done quite a bit for Terminus with that assistance of a move, and now you guys are proceeding to get into a lockup. Neither of you are making significant progress right now.
I still fail to understand why this is referred to as the King's Game.
Well, because there's strategy involved, I think. Hey, Dr. Prasik.
Hmm?
Do you know a place called the Lilac Wreath?
Yes. Went there a bunch of times. Usually around the summertime, I come out to visit a con, and we go there for a couple of plays. Usually someone performs, singers, things like that.
Dr.
Why do you
Pressett,
bring it up?
you know that this is an after-hours club for socialites?
Wait, never mind.
It's the... Huh?
Yeah, no, never mind. I'm gonna correct it later. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it's the sort of place that high society goes after, like, an opera, where they rub elbows with the singers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, like, they actually meet the talent and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna correct it with I've gone there maybe once or twice. Haven't been there recently. What about it?
I figure it's about time that we get use out of those suits we got made, huh? And I, like, hold up the flyer.
I squint at it. I read it from across the room. Hell yeah.
You squint for a second and then hold up the focusing lens.
Hell yeah.
You can see that there is some sort of advertised engagement that's taking place on Friday. It is Wednesday evening right now.
Huh. Why are we going to this?
Oh, it was in Shriver's things, so either
I think
it would seem that if there was some, I don't know, maybe a organized crime family, they might have somebody there, especially if she was supposed to be there.
you think she was
Because
supposed
this
to
isn't
attend
just
this?
playing at a club, you know.
She was very opposed to. I mean, last we all talked, being being recognized or having any kind of filming. This is that place is,
Well,
or
no,
even appearing among high society.
No, I don't imagine that she was there performing, or that she would be there to perform. But like this is, it was in her stuff. I mean, what few things she actually had in that room, but this is
I mean,
clearly something of hers.
Without coming off too brash or harsh, she is a professional thief. Maybe she only had it as a mark that she was gonna go there and steal something.
Oh, okay. So then, if there's,
Maybe.
maybe that is.
I mean, if you want to
in
go,
which case, going there doesn't cause anything, right? Like we have nothing else.
We
going
got
on
nothing to
really
lose.
right
I agree
now.
with that. We could definitely make and be in attendance.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can.
So,
Get us in.
do you think we need to make a reservation, or do we just go?
Do I need to make a reservation next?
The Prasic family has basically a table there.
No, I don't think a reservation would be necessary. I should be able to just get us in the door.
Oh,
While
all
both
right.
of them are talking, they hear this noise.
What is that? Terminus, what was that noise?
What?
Vacuuming.
I'm putting in the lenses.
Okay, so Friday night.
Friday night?
All right, Friday night. Yeah, it's the event.
Do you want to attend too? Axel?
I mean, depends if Terminus feels that we can use the time to
We have how many
Uh,
days right now?
2 days. It's Wednesday.
Ah, it's Wednesday.
I can work on some of the more complex mechanical parts while Axel's away.
I mean, if Terminus is fine with it,
Mission?
I just don't wish to abandon him on a project in which he's
Well, we'd be going to this thing at night anyway, so you'd still have the day to do whatever it is you were gonna do.
All any of the specifics of the intricacies of whatever particular gas that is required for certain aspects of Axel's profession, such that nothing explodes while I'm trying to use it, or some such. But other than that, it seems fairly forthcoming, though his help would be helped or appreciated.
Okay, that sounds ominous.
I don't know how anesthetic works.
Oh, so double ominous. Good. What are you guys talking about?
Medical tools.
developing a medical system that's able to be accessed in the field almost instantly. In case
So
there's
he-
somebody that gets very critically wounded, I can potentially perform a surgery on them if need be. Safely. Without having to, like, make them bite down on a piece of wood and hope that they can, not pass out from the pain.
So would you be able to like go and do other stuff while he's doing this, or would you have to stay right there?
Well, I mean, we haven't really developed it yet, but the idea would be he, at this point, would have to stay there because most of the tools and equipment are, well, for lack of better words, attached to his body. All his systems and processes are carrying and running it. I'm basically just utilizing him to assist, more or less. Maybe a portable, like a small man portable unit might be a plausible idea, but I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
There's something about like sanitization that needs to happen too, right?
In regards,
Needs must in dire times.
Well, I mean, if you're holding on to a bunch of medical supplies that are going to be going up in people's bodies, then
well, I mean, you'll
hopefully
naturally will have,
you have a
alcohol
way to
sterilization.
sanitize those
course.
things, especially if they're going to be reusable.
I mean, I'm sure we could come up with a solution to sanitize. Maybe utilize the heat generated from the engine of Terminus to like superheat some water and make steam. That, and you can just use good old alcohol like we've used for many years before. We'll just see if it. I mean, for what it's worth, this is more like, all right, this man is probably going to lose his arm. I probably can save it, and he might get an infection, but at least I tried to save his arm, sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't, but I'm not a doctor, so.
Well, anyway, that's the idea that we're after, is potentially saving somebody's life when otherwise it wouldn't be possible. And it's worth a shot.
I mean, I guess that's fine and all, but like, you should still be fighting in this scenario, shouldn't you?
Well,
not you, Dr. Axel, Zendink.
well, this will be more of a, like, all right, this man's only got hours to live. After, say, for instance, we've come out of a battle quite hurt. There's a chance that I can save him from losing possible appendages or, whatever it may be. This is not for, like, in battle. So this would be like basically a hospital in the field, so to speak.
Yeah, it's for triage.
So then why don't we just like have a van or something that's got like a lorry that's got a bunch of medical equipment in it?
Are you
Not
going to
always
shove
doing
that into the C Senora?
Yeah, if it'll fit, dude. We could put we could put all that medical equipment in there if people are willing to do it. I don't care.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, you can, but it's more of like the accessibility of no matter where we're at, I have access to a medical facility that can put somebody to sleep, and it's always accessible. Like we won't always get to have a van to lug ourselves around. You know, I mean, you know what I mean?
Plus, the C Senora is pretty big.
Oh no, I'm not arguing that that putting all the medical equipment in the C Senora is the like optimal solution to this problem. That's not what I'm after. I'm just talking about sort of the logistics of Zendin being a medical unit unto himself in this being out in the field thing. And that sounds like a really expensive solution to a problem that I think could be solved with a variety of other mechanisms, not the least of which being like a vehicle that just so happens to have medical equipment in it. Like
What
a
if we're in a
mobile
stealth
medical
situation?
unit?
What if we're in a stealth situation and I can't have a large vehicle rolling through a forested area?
Oh,
Do I attempt to haul somebody out for?
So we're
you
gonna
know,
play the what if game, and then like no matter what, it's just gonna be, well, but what if this thing?
Well,
right?
I mean, we're looking for all possible scenarios in which this can achieve, maximum performance. Yeah, a van naturally would probably be beneficial. There'd be more room. I wouldn't have to rely on anybody else. But we're talking emergency dire situations here. Like I have 20 minutes to save this man's life. Well, I'm not going to be able to walk a man out of a forest or out of, a building. In some cases, where that I
Or
need
remove them
operating.
from, remove
What
them from between decks on the New Dawn.
What if perhaps he's paralyzed or potentially almost can be paralyzed, and moving him would definitely paralyze him if I don't immediately, fix the damages. I mean, there's a number of different scenarios which I hope never occur, but planning for them to occur is always a safer scenario, I suppose. Again, I hope that we never have to
like
utilize it.
couldn't you just have like a riot shield or something to like keep people, like put up as a shield to keep people from getting shot? That way, like people that don't get injured.
Yeah, but
Don't
what
need
happens when the
medical attention.
Strigoi just puts a 20 millimeter shell through the shield and blows an arm off?
I'm sorry. Are we talking about providing medical attention to someone who's been shot by a 20mm cannon?
Yes, absolutely. That is
Those
the premise
dudes are
of this.
dead no matter what you do. They're probably just viscera.
Well, that's incorrect. We've bumped into some people that had taken quite a bit of damage before, and I managed to save 8 out of 10 of them. Not saying they got shot by the 20mm, mind you, but multiple bullet holes, scrapes, cuts.
Right, but those
some
aren't
of
the
them
same
have-
thing. Those literally aren't the same thing because you just said they weren't shot by like giant cannons.
Well, what you're saying is give everybody a shield to protect them from dying. Well,
No,
unfortunately, a shield is
I'm not saying
omnidirectional.
give everybody a shield to protect them from dying. I'm saying if the conversation is specifically about what things could be micronized and Zendink could store, then like I'm not convinced. I guess what I'm saying is I'm convinced that equipment that he has to then be there to be standing there nearby while it's being used is necessarily the best use for that. That's my argument.
What does it matter? If we're doing operation, we're in a secured location at that point. I'm not going to whip out a pair of scissors and a suture needle and start fixing a man's arm while we're under suppressive MG fire. So him standing there for, 30 minutes will be neither here nor there. Especially if we're utilizing it on a captured airship, perhaps, which hopefully that airship, when we do board it, will have a large medical facility, but barring the chance that for whatever stupid reason, obviously the Russians, so I wouldn't put it past them, but if they don't have a medical center there, then I have one ready, and men that are potentially going to die won't have to die. I'm looking to save lives, and if it's, a minor inconvenience to have him have to stand there for 30 minutes to save a life, I feel that that's justified. Plus, I can't bring a van with us on top of the New Dawn, so kind of a fail-safe, just in case something happens. If you have a better solution to something that's portable,
I mean, I think I just presented two options that were just as viable, but
a van
if
was one, and we've
yeah,
disproved that.
Whoa,
So go to
but
the
you're-
next
but we're
one.
saying on top of the New Dawn, which we know is massive. So, like, the likelihood that you could drive a vehicle across the airstrip, one of the airstrips that's up there, to provide medical attention, I think is a totally reasonable thing to do, for one. And for two, I think the secondary option was if you wanted to put in some sort of medical equipment into, like the C Senora, for example, I think that's fine. Now, given you're not doing triage instantly on somebody in the middle of a hallway, but like you said, if it's a secure area, what does it matter?
Exactly. So the idea still stands that it's still viable.
Okay, I mean,
With all due respect,
go ahead. Yeah.
leave the medical professionals to do what they've got to do. And if it fails, then I will come consult you, and we will see about utilizing your ideas and actually making it work on the second run through.
There. What are we arguing about?
Oh, no
Down.
argument really to be had. Just discussing the
Gotta go get the
implications of
backpack.
having you forced to stand in a sedentary position while operations would occur with the medical equipment that you're planning on putting in your body. And I'm conveying the what's my words? The implication of having you standing there is not really that big of an issue. Not to mention that having it on you at all times would be, valuable in the fact that we would always have a portable medical facility, and we wouldn't be reliant on a vehicle that potentially could have an engine shot out or a tire that went bad, or any number of things. Basically, our only stipulation of it not working is if your systems have completely malfunctioned and you're unable to move, in which case I have more serious matters to attend to, you naturally, than anybody else surviving. But that's neither here nor there.
I find that all this is a discussion at all. After all, I feel that I am used to waiting on all of you.
Well, not
When
an
you
invalid
sleep,
point.
when you eat, when you travel.
I mean, don't you usually have projects and other such things that you're taking care of during those times that we have to do things like that?
Well,
Also,
I can find the
you have
time.
to travel.
What?
I said also, you have to travel.
Are you traveling while we're sleeping? And the better question is, where are you traveling to?
No, he said that he's waiting on us while these things happen, right?
Right.
So he's waiting while we travel, but like you have to travel as well.
So there's technically no waiting. You're just with everybody else. I see what you're saying. So really, the only downtime you have is when we either have to nourish ourselves or replenish our energy.
This conversation seems to have become a completely different beast entirely. I recommend we change the subject.
Well, I mean, you presented it. I was just clarifying.
Pull. Prastix is still in the corner, pulling the trigger fruitlessly. Like, yeah, this works.
Suddenly, a beam of light shoots out and just blasts.
No, it has
through
to.
the
There's
door.
a backpack. It has to be connected for it to work.
You see, in spite of that, as you wave the rifle around the room, Mr. Balk seems to duck under the barrel every time it passes in his direction.
It's basically completely empty, Bach. It's I understand the concern, but
Did you
it has no
basically
ammunition.
You
completely?
always treat a weapon as if it's loaded, sir.
True, I understand.
That sounds like good advice.
It is. It is pretty good advice. It's about as useless as a paperweight without the backpack, though. I'm gonna set it down on the table, as it is now a 10-pound paperweight.
Forgive my superstition, then, sir.
No forgiveness to be found here. You ignorant buffoon. No.
You're fired.
Get out of my presence and return no more.
But yes, are you all done?
I mean, nothing has technically been started, so I suppose we are done, if that's what you're asking.
Your move dash 2?
What?
Your move.
Dr. Prasic, waiting
Waiting.
patiently, looks down at the meals table.
Of course, after I hit it the second time, it goes off.
Hmm.
The game narrowing. Dr. Axel sits there, seeing the obvious moves.
Just
Shakes his
pain,
head.
pain in my eyes as I watch.
We're stuck in that, like, we're moving our kings back and forth. And, like,
Yep.
God, I hate when it turns into that shit. I fucking hate the game when it happens.
Ever tell you I was in the chess club back in middle school?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I wish, like whenever that happens to me, like I always wish that I was the really dumb opponent so I could fucking lose and just be done with it.
Anyways.
Shotgun to B7.
Both of you go ahead and make smarts rolls.
Blows the board away.
Not as good as it can be.
All right. Dr. Prasic finally finishes the game after you guys have your own conversation.
Yeah.
You guys agree to call it an evening unless there's something else you guys want to do. And
I reach over to
push
shake
on.
Terminus's hand for a good game.
I reciprocate.
I look to Axel and go, never help someone playing chess against again, motherfucker. I'll fucking end you.
I'll say, Dr. Prasic, I'm somewhat disappointed you did not take that game by storm. I certainly expected a little more of you.
A little rusty. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I mean, I assumed so.
I have polish for that.
It's a turn of phrase.
What?
Terminus.
Damn it.
Don't worry, you'll get all of them one day. Like Pokemon.
You guys break up and head to bed for the evening. Like I said, unless there's something you guys wanted to do. The next day is going to be that Thursday, day before the engagement. Thursday, you guys can go down to the lab if you want and work on this like micronized medical suite. I think functionally what it will do is essentially provide a hospital bonus, so it'll be instead of a +2 from a med kit, it'll be a +4 to med rolls for assisting in like stabilizing soldiers and treating like more complex injuries.
Neat.
That'll be, of course, for any medical physician tending that Zandink is able to help out.
Order's pretty good. I'll definitely take that.
Ledge.
Yeah.
Pliers.
The next day, unless, like I said, anybody's doing anything, feel free if you have something you want to get done to jump in. But you guys head down to the R&D department. Go ahead and let's see. Let's get a medicine roll.
One of these.
Hello.
Yep, there it is. Lay on hands.
And they called
Using your
him
knowledge of
Pelly.
medicine. Using your knowledge of medicine and having been reading through medical journals recently, you find that there's a person who, in 1905, named Leo Bakeland, who has essentially come up with this interesting new material called plastic, which could be used to make essentially a very small sterile environment over a wound. In the middle of that, like essentially imagine tenting a leg that's been shot, so that battlefield like debris or um, anything like in the wind won't land on a wound that you're working on. Something like that could be used to like tent a wound and provide a more sterile environment for you to actually remove fragmentation. Let's get a repair roll from. There we go. From Terminus. Terminus also managed to make or conceptualize a form of hand-used micro manipulators that you would use in concert with essentially a set of magnifying goggles that will allow you to look into said tent and using your hands on a set of controls use Terminus's micro manipulators to pull out like small fragmentation from like bullets like fragmenting in a wound, which is like very difficult to do in this time as the procedures aren't really widely available. This would also allow you to keep your hands clean while operating essentially by proxy through the micro manipulators inside the tent, and using your
Big dick energy.
yeah, and essentially using the micro manipulators in order and the goggles to see things on a smaller scale than you'd be able to do with the naked eye.
Yeah, I remember that from another weird alternate history thing where all plastics were called Bakelite at the time. I recognize this. That's because plastic was originally this. That's why it was called that in that weird alternate history. They just never changed the name.
Yep. But you guys get some pretty solid designs figured out, and Terminus begins going into production mode in the hospital. You guys spend that day, and Terminus works through the night on this project. You know that it's going to take a few days to complete, but by Friday afternoon, like you've actually got something that's like kind of like a I don't want to say a working model, but like you've got some decent progress to show for yourselves.
How, as far as like our expectation on how long can we, like, if we've gotten this far, can we kind of judge how long we're thinking it might actually take us to get through?
Yeah, by
like
working through the shop
itself?
bots. Yeah, by working with the shop bots that are already there and what's it called? Fucking Terminus, working overnight and whatnot. You think that you could probably actually have the module ready and installed by Sunday.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
So it's now Friday afternoon. Terminus has been gone all throughout Thursday in the R&D department. He essentially doesn't need supervision anymore after you've done your part, Dr. Axel. So you are back at the Prasic townhouse. Mr. Vought and Dr. Prasic are there as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm connecting the rifle to the backpack and testing it.
Oh, if you want, you can be down at the R&D lab testing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to
or you can be shooting it around in your house and setting shit on fire. Mr. Vought would love that.
Just like a kid in the candy shop.
Watch this. Watch how the curtains burn. So, not the draperies.
Oh
No.
We're never gonna get those replaced now.
Just pointed at me. Why isn't it working?
That's a family tapestry from the 15th century.
Not another like it anywhere in the world.
Oh man. But yeah, just down there, just testing it and then making sure it's functioning properly with the backpack and everything.
All right, so
Pack
this
it
is the
up.
player-driven portion of the game, guys. So
Hand in the schematics.
tell me what you're gonna do.
Hand in the schematics to the chief guy here. Let him know, like, hey,
Dr. Burkhart.
yeah, Dr. Oh, that's the one of the things I need to go. I need to go find out if the OSI has located Mr. What's his face. Shit, I keep forgetting his name. I have the note. Hold on. Don't help me. Got the notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna be working throughout like these guys' trip to the ritzy ass like club because I doubt I'm gonna be let in. So
No,
if someone
you
wants me to come
probably
with,
won't
they're gonna take some convincing.
You
Wrong
can wait in the alley
fucking-
with your shotgun.
Hell yeah. We always need you in the alley with a shotgun.
Because
the inevitable
everything's gonna
moment
turn
that
into a
Vaughn fucks everything
gunfight
up.
somehow.
Yep.
Lambert. Dr. Lambert Brower. That's who I'm looking for.
Who was at this
No,
moment?
if OSI has made any progress with them. With locating him anywhere.
Okay. You head down to the offices of OSI, and after futzing about with procedure, you talk to a liaison who, let's see. I'm gonna assume that you go with like that morning with Dr. Axel because that greases the wheels significantly since he's active duty.
Yeah.
And is known to be involved in the case. You guys get information from the OSI operative that Dr. Brower is currently in the city of Castert, off Ritger Island to the north.
Huh?
He had managed to flee to Broniger during the days just prior to the siege, and has been essentially laying low there. He's wanted for capture, and they've been running a campaign saying that essentially he's been in Octorind, like a disinformation campaign.
Wait, who's been running a disinformation campaign?
OSI is.
Oh, okay.
They're saying that a bunch
Because
of
the Russians are
like
also looking for him.
scientists. Yeah, the scientists are pretty important to any type of war effort at this point, and so they're running essentially a smokescreen operation, make it seem like he's somewhere that he's not.
Okay, well, after speaking to the liaison, I'm gonna tell him that let him know, pass on that it's imperative that if he's found, that I get notified. I think if you don't want to notify me directly, you can notify Axel and he'll tell me. And I really want to speak to him because it's important to my work and national security that I understand what process he used to enhance Savange the way he did.
The liaison lets you know that he is currently working in Castert. If you look at the map.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's. Oh, so you guys know where he is. Oh, is he like safe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like
he's...
he's basically in Witsec in Castert. Like they're letting you know this because they know that you're on their side. Okay. And they've been running smoke screens saying that he's an Octorind.
Is there a way that I can speak to him? Could I get a message to him maybe?
Well, you could telegram him or you can go see him in person.
I would like to telegram him, and is it possible for him? Oh, well, I guess
Caster's
I wouldn't.
Caster's
I guess
like probably an hour and a half drive from here.
Ah, shoot. Not enough time today, but you know what? Maybe tomorrow, before we go to the evening event, I go out to Castert. Yes! Excitement. Hand clap. High five with Axel.
I deny him.
Damn.
Oh,
dude,
no.
Hanging.
I do not touch my hands. They are sterile and also sensitive.
What a wuss.
Surgery, you understand.
What a wuss. Anyway, yeah.
He ain't trying to catch that fucking Espana flu.
The Black Plague.
It's happening. It's already starting in this side of the world.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Okay, so now I'm excited. Now I'm really happy. We can go to Castert and go see him. I could talk to him. I could bring the sample, and I could bring the gun. And you can see the gun.
Sample of the gun.
I could play that song from the release of Halo 2. You know, "Blow Me Away."
I don't know that song.
Oh, you don't know that
No
song?
way.
Fucking, what was the band that made that song again, Hawk? You remember?
No.
Shit, you know what I'm talking about, though. The whole Halo 2 campaign. Constantly.
I can't hardly even remember what I have for breakfast most
Alright,
days.
never mind. I'll tell you later, X, when we actually get back to the Halo 2 campaign.
Right.
But yeah. So,
Alright.
good news. We found Castard.
I mean, we didn't find Caster. Caster was always there.
I mean,
I
yes,
think he
we
means
found Brower in Castard. Just holding a gun to my back of my head. Castard was always there.
Always was.
I know that meme though. It always
This
was.
was. Okay, anyone else? So other than that, then if no one else is gonna talk, yeah, I want to turn in the stuff to the notes and the letter and all the other crap to Burkhart and let him know, like, hey, I built this thing and it's gonna be a while before I have enough material to build more of them, because the limiting, while we can probably build the weapons themselves, the limiting factor is having enough of the Savange to power them.
He's seems adequately impressed by the schematics that you've got, and when you produce the first prototype rifle, he's again kind of astonished at the swiftness with which you managed to go through the R&D process.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know, like, it's a lot of help thanks to, Terminus. As scared as we are of him, he's, in all honesty, he's on our side. I feel like he still is.
He says, Dr. Prasik, you and Terminus would be an excellent addition to the laboratory here if you don't have anything else to do with your time. I mean, Greiterdam would benefit greatly from your full-time work in our laboratories.
Yes, I know. They actually did offer me a position already. They're finally giving me head of Savange research, and planning to open up a place in Silver for me to work.
In Silver? Oh, I hadn't heard.
Yeah. Might be soon. I might just be no longer riding horses out in the Ilkoven Plains anymore. Back to work in the lab.
And
Well,
given the
listen,
times, I imagine that's probably a better use of your time for the country.
I'm hoping
king.
that these times don't last very long.
You know about something that I don't?
No, I'm just saying, like every man here, and woman, child, everyone alike. I'm hoping that these times don't last very long. That this war will come to an end, and we'll be able to go back to our lives.
Oh man, good thing I'm not out there.
Terminus is like, yes, we're planning an assault on the airship to end it. Then we'll take the airship and we'll kill the fucking Kaiser ourselves.
Oh no, very different reason. You might find out later though.
Be that as it may, he takes the schematics and says he's going to get to work trying to find or get the materials to make more of these things happen. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, I wanted to do this too, because I know I talked about it with you, but I don't know if we roughed it out, that like the idea of having a bigger one, like the idea of like, hey, this can also be made a lot bigger and equipped to the Jaegers instead.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like a rough design is already also had in its like the Jaeger version of it.
Well, you just need to scale it up. You know that the product would actually benefit greatly if you were able to get Dr. Baltez on board.
Yeah.
His work in like electro theory is basically penultimate to Dr. Tesla himself.
Yeah, we'll end it there then.
Where's my electrics at?
An electrician.
D10, I'm getting there.
Anyways, so Friday rolls around.
And I want to take a quick trip out in the morning to Cassert.
Okay. You going alone?
Anyone? I will. You know, in the evening when we get back together, I'll let everyone know. Like, hey, turns out OSI located Bauer and Cassert, and it's not far from here. It'd just be the same drive that we took to well there, but we'll just completely bypass it and go right up to Cassert. We'd have to keep it on the hush hush, though, as it appears OSI is trying to keep the fact that he's out there secret. I believe Axel got an address from them, right?
You know where he's at.
You know,
I
where
was
it's
gonna
at.
say, I don't, as a player, I don't know, but yes. Of course, yes, absolutely.
I mean, if anyone, I personally, I would prefer to just go alone with the driver. But
I mean, if you feel it's completely
Mr. Vaught is a
necessary.
driver.
yeah,
I mean, if you want to go alone with just a drive, like I'm sure Balk can take you if you really just want
I just need to.
just you and your mans.
Yeah, I mean that would work, right? Yeah, I mean if Axel just wants to hand over the address and we head out in the morning, and I'll be back by afternoon to meet you all to go to the Lily thing place.
I mean, I don't particularly
The Lily
mind.
Reef.
Just-
The Lily Reef, yes.
Again, you need to be
All I wrote down was
incredibly
Lily.
careful about
Well,
wandering eyes that tend to want to come find us. But
I figured if it's just one of us leaving, it won't look too suspicious. Versus
No,
all of us
frankly,
leaving and going all
my,
together everywhere.
Frankly, my disinterest in going is more along the lines of I'm sure the conversation you will have is going to bore me to tears.
Listen, let me tell you something, young man.
Hey man, I fell asleep in that room, so like I'm good.
So
Boy,
clearly
you
the only way to
deaf
get
right
fucking
now.
Vaught interested in this is just say, hey Vaught, I'm gonna make you a jetpack.
I'm gonna bore you to death right now with all of the details about how this laser is gonna.
You just
burn
gotta
through
learn
holes
to
in
talk
people.
Vaught. You need to be like, hey Vaught, I'm looking for locations to put up a fucking murder dome in Castor. You want to go?
Yeah, but that's not what you said. You're like, hey, I want to go talk to this science guy about science shit for like a million hours.
No,
Like, all
so
right.
I can't stay for very long. I just need to figure out. I'm hoping that he just has the notes ready to go about how he made the savant stronger, so that way he can just hand it over to me, and then I can go do my job with it. Maybe I can offer him a position as my assistant when we begin the research. Give him credit. Science guys love credit. I love credit. Look I have all these books with my name on it.
what about extra credit?
That show is stupid. Don't watch
Belicoven?
it.
Oh. Well, I mean, okay. So if you're gonna go by and you're sure you want to
I
go
would
by
rather,
yourself,
yeah. I just want you all to know where I'm going, so that way, if something happens, you
When
know
he
where
gets
I last was.
captured.
it's
So that's
it's,
the road
it's
we know to look on for your body.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
what I'm kind of worried about. Is that in case something happens, I'm worried about the happenings part.
You know we could fly there in like 10 minutes.
Wait,
Seriously.
I forget that we have the C Senora all the time.
Hey, I mean, if you want to have a leisurely, Friday morning to Friday afternoon drive, by all means. But like,
you know
we
what sounds even better?
we could fly there in like 10 minutes.
Yes. Let's fly there tomorrow morning. Take us.
Oh,
take us
yes.
to Castle.
We have a flying armored death tank with machine guns. We just forgot about this.
We could risk it on the road,
Or
knowing that Russian mafia are definitely wanting to kill us. Or we could leave from the military fucking harbor and fly there in 10 minutes.
come back.
And then give him
Yeah,
an offer
fucking
that he can't
C-130s.
refuse. Hey, listen, bud. We know we just kind of knocked on your door and told you, yeah, we need all this info. But, listen, this plane's been marked by the Russian mob. As soon as it's known that we've landed here, you're fucked. So come with us or get fucked by the mob.
And die.
I mean, the other thing is we could fly to Wrecker Island and drive there.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Right.
Like,
Like,
I mean, you could totally load the fucking Silver Ghost onto
Yeah.
the Sea Senora.
and then we could drive there if you still want to be incognito. It's fine, but like traversing the distance of getting to Kasser.
yes, I agree. It's
Yeah.
probably better we fly there to Rutger and then drive
And I'll
in.
finally be able to go to one of these stupid islands right off the coast that I've been trying
You've
to go
been-
to since I fucking came to Greider.
You've been really eyeing those islands, haven't you? Are you planning to try and buy one of them or something?
He just really wants to fish.
Yeah, dude. I just
I was-
like the coast air, man. What can I
He
say?
doesn't want to fish. He just wants to bang women. Hey, baby.
Yes, fish.
Got a sky yacht out on the street. On the sea.
She's a harbor chick.
Hey,
He does like a good wet, smelly.
meet me back on the ship. We'll bang, okay?
So are we?
Here
So
for
are-
the steak.
Yes, yes.
I love
so,
steak.
so we're gonna fly there. Okay, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
take the
fly.
Silver Ghost to
Load it
the.
up. We'll fly there in the morning.
Right. I mean, it is that morning, right? This is Friday.
No, I mean, well,
Yeah.
it's the night, and then
Oh, this
Friday morning.
He said that it was going to be that Thursday evening that he was telling you his plan
Yeah.
to go there
I
the
see,
next day.
yes.
So
in the morning, yes, we'll.
in the morning, you guys drive down to the harbor. You load up this Silver Ghost into the back of the Sea Senora. You look at these nice new fucking machine guns that are mounted in the sides of your Sea Senora. Kind of chuckle at the thought that you now have a weaponized Playboy mansion, Sky Playboy mansion.
Thanks,
Oh.
Illicoven.
Yeah, and I have a brief
Thanks,
flash
Dr.
forward
Rang.
when inevitably this thing is shot full of like anti-aircraft rounds, and we just crash to the earth.
Be a hell of an adventure, though.
Oh,
Just get
that's
shot
true.
by a
You
destroyer.
can feel your pants tightening as you think about that adventure.
What do you want to live forever?
Somewhat.
You guys,
What?
you guys taxi into the lake and begin your pre-flight procedure,
Okay,
and
bye.
you take off.
Yeah.
Roughly, by the time you don't even honestly reach full elevation, by the time you're ready to land, just outside of Rutger Island, but you let's see. It's just you up in the pilot area, so go ahead and make a notice roll for me, please, Mr. Vaught.
Yep. Sorry, my machine just like whipped out for a second.
My machine just whipped it out.
Whipped it
Picnic
right.
style. That's right. All
Hey,
right,
wait.
notice.
Okay.
I'll Benny that
All right.
as soon as I find it. Okay. I don't see shit.
Oh, you have a
Anybody
D4
want to
notice?
assist?
God damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have a good. I have a D6 investigation, but I only have a D4.
Are the robots assisting him?
No, they can assist him in piloting.
Okay.
Pilot and co-pilot are available if you want to use them. But you make a water landing just outside Rutger Island. You pull up onto or just close to the shore and extend your like cargo ramp out and drive the Silver Ghost onto the land.
So, what are we even looking at? Like when we touch down over near Rutger Island, like what does the island look like from the water?
Well, first things first, when you guys start unloading the Silver Ghost, Dr. Prasik, as you like are looking out the windows coming in, because your notice die is what?
I have a D8 for notice. D10 now, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to roll. You've got enough to passively see the very obvious naval battle that's happening to the northwest of Rutger Island between USV forces.
Oh my god.
USV forces and what looks like EEIA battle cruisers. There seems to be some sort of aerial battle happening over the fight. None of this was mentioned by the captain, of course, as he lands, and you guys start disembarking the Silver Ghost.
It's miles out, is what I'm assuming, and it's just like it's obvious signs of a battle going on. Like there's smoke plumes and just the occasional bang off in the distance.
When you guys walk down the ramp, you can feel the thud of concussion from the like the cannons, like thumping in your chest. It's
feel the
only
hits.
like 1.5 to 2 miles away from here.
Well then, I didn't know that they've gotten this far south. Might want to just make this quick.
You see the giant fortress at Rooker Island, and all around the area you can see ships that are taxiing on the north side of the island out towards the battle. And you can see prep work being done to, like, essentially patch ships that are coming back in from the battle down in the shipyard. Thankfully, you guys are not engaged by any kind of aircraft that come into the area because they are currently fighting out over the water.
I was really wondering if we were about to have to roll those brand new machine guns.
I mean, we can.
Yeah, I want to provide AC-130 fire support for the boys.
Yeah.
You just shoot at some random
100%.
farmer.
Just get like a 105mm cannon, strap it to one side of the fucking Sea Senora. Full-blown battle plane.
I was thinking about it, but I figured that'd probably be too much. She's a big plane, but... Well, I guess she technically has 4 engines, and a C-130 has 4 engines.
It's got 6 engines, and it's actually technically
6?
longer than the C-130.
Yeah, no, this thing's huge.
I didn't know it had 6. I thought it had 4. Well, I'm cracked. I'm out of my mind. My bad.
Yeah, so like when I feel it in my chest, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around the deck of the ship, like trying to make sense of whatever the hell just
turn
maybe
him,
there's something
make
wrong
him,
with
let
one of
him,
the engines.
just help him like take a look and say, yeah, it's out there.
Am I having a heart attack?
Huh? Out there,
Right.
and I like
There's a
run back
battle
up.
north.
I climb the ladder and like stand on top of the plane and like squint and look out at the.
But
at
we
the
don't have
battle.
time for this. Can't hang around here very long.
Well, then
Yeah,
take
you're
the
sitting there
car.
and you're wondering how the fuck you missed this, but you can definitely now see a naval battle going on just off of the coast.
Probably will help us in our argument. Get him out of here. Maybe.
I produce my binoculars and like try to get a closer look at the battle from here. Because I don't know who's fighting.
You can definitely see a battle line of USV cruisers as well as Greiterdam frigates out at sea. They are currently engaged in a battle with EEIA cruisers in the area. Judging by the as you look with the binoculars, the cruisers from the EEIA side look to be essentially Finnish in make. The battle detachment that patrols the sea around here has largely come from Finland.
Oh, so I guess I don't even fully understand what I'm looking at then in terms of like the make and model and all that stuff. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't know that I know that it's Finnish. You know, like my knowledge probably isn't that good on naval ships. But and once I start seeing flags and I'm like trying to understand, like, okay, this is what's going on. Yeah, I turn around. Hey, that's Greiterdam and USV fighting the EEIA. So should
So fly away from it, probably. I don't think we want to, get involved with that. Not yet.
No, we came here for a reason, so let's get it done and leave.
right. So unload the Silver Ghost first, and
Yes.
then we can go
Mhm.
do that. Because like those are our people out there, right?
For now, it's mostly our people, and if it looks like they're doing okay to hold the line, but I would prefer not to be this close to a major battle.
It would be in our best interest to not stay around here for too long.
As you guys unload the Silver Ghost in the morning, the crisp morning air, you unload it and get in. And aside from the naval battle happening to the north of you guys, it's a beautiful summer morning. And if it weren't for the naval battle, it'd be a perfect day for a picnic. It's nice and bright and early, and you got out here to Rutger Island. You guys pile into the Silver Ghost and start making your way towards Castert. The drive to Castert takes longer than the flight to get here did because of the military checkpoints on the bridge. They're curious as to how you arrived on the Fortress Island, to begin with. And you explain, you took the Si Senora. They seem to know who you are, and surprisingly, you get through the gates with a little bit of only slight stalling when a few of the corporals who are manning the gates ask for your autographs. After some inquiry, you find out that there has been showing in local GR theaters a documentary about the Si Senor's reconnaissance mission and the efforts on the Eastern Front, featuring, yourselves as local celebrities in the war.
I did it, Mom. I'm on TV.
By the way,
On
where's the
big
death
screen.
robot?
Yeah, right. I think you were still -2 at the time, right?
Yeah, so they don't know.
Yeah, so they inquire about -2. They find out, whether you guys tell them or not, that Terminus is the same robot, just
Oh.
with a new chassis.
Wait,
That's up
so
to
I
you.
think we switched because he recorded the event, and I think that was like something that he had. In the
No, he
new
had a
board.
recording device for a while.
No, I only was able to integrate the recording device into Terminus's frame.
Yeah, so he was already Terminus.
I thought you did that as -2 a while
No.
ago, when you saw that other robots had it.
I saw that they had it, and I made one, but it was not integratable in my frame.
Ah, okay. I got you. So you were Terminus then.
Yes.
Okay, so then they recognize you as well and afford you an amount of celebrity.
I don't think I'm there.
Are you not?
He's working.
Oh, you're
No, I
not
think I'm
there.
still
That's
working.
right. I'm sorry. So
fine,
then
just
they
making
inquire
sure.
after Terminus. They inquire after Terminus and ask you questions like if that's going to become a production model like Warbot. And they seem a little bit flabbergasted at the absolute waste that it's an engineer bot.
He built
but-
himself.
But you manage to make it through the checkpoints and whatnot without too much hassle and find your way into Castert. Castert is a beautiful, kind of idyllic town in other times that's along the coast. There's a lot of fishermen in the harbors around here. A lot of these boats, of course, however, are not really being used a whole lot due to the danger, to the close proximity of the EIA ships. And you get the idea that the battle line being out at sea seems to shift fairly regularly. So the fishermen doing what they can are trying to patrol the coast to the south of Rutger Island in what is deemed safe water, ? But you can see that the inability for a lot of the local fishermen to just freely go out and fish known spots has really started to affect the community. That coupled with the fact that there is evidence along the shorelines and in some of the outskirts of town of what look like artillery barrage, probably from naval guns, that have happened. There are people trying to fix buildings. Some buildings have been completely abandoned as they've been hit. And you can see that there's military medical units set up in tents throughout the city. It reminds you a bit of Illicoven, actually, what the militia did, setting up Casevac points along the outskirts of town to withdraw to the more defensible position of town square to use as triage points. As you head into town, you can see on the far west side of town a very large series of windmills in the distance, and it looks like at least one or two of them have a couple of blades that have been burned. But from here, you can't really make out the extent of the damage. Still, in spite of the wartime, you see people in the streets going about their business, trying to live a semi-normal life. You see a lot of people from Greiterdem who are rocking the 8mm Galleon M1910s over their shoulders. The militia here has been activated as well. And it seems as though, like in Illicoven, the civilian populace is never far from their weaponry in case there's some sort of offensive on the beach. But as you guys make it into town square, you can see, similarly to Illicoven, there are tank traps on certain roads to funnel traffic in certain directions, and whatnot. Knowing that there is the city of Cabernal just north across the inlet there, excuse me, it's likely that these people face almost an imminent daily threat from the EEIA. Yet, a hardy seaborne people, they don't shy away and move inland. You guys make your way through the cobbled streets and see horses and whatnot on the roads. Not as many cars as there are in Octorind. These people are not quite as affluent as the city dwellers there. But there's also a lot less diesel grime everywhere. As you guys pull to a halt to outside the residence that you're told that Dr. Brower is at, you can see that there is a lorry, and much like troops on the back of the lorry, you can see 4 Jaeger units being deployed to the north beaches. The Jaeger units look like they're manned as they are turning about in the back of the lorry, holding their 20mm rifles. And it's kind of a comical scene, seeing human GIs shipped, or not GIs, but human soldiers being shipped out to the front. You guys are now in front of the residence.
So this is the one, right?
Yep, pretty sure this is the address, right, Axel?
From what I was told, this should be it.
Okay, what is it? Is it like a cottage? Is this like an apartment building? What is here?
It looks to be a two-story house in a residential area. It's nestled deep within the militia compound of the area. Aside from that, it looks kind of pretty standard to the houses of Greiterdem. It has kind of an orange tile roof, and kind of I forget the name of the hatching on the sides of the buildings, but yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, is it thatched? Is it
No.
Roof?
They're orange tiles. If you look up pictures of the Netherlands,
South.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So they look like those kind of tall, narrow houses on the line, but they're freestanding. You see modest yards in most of the houses in the neighborhood. Much of the landscaping has gone to disrepair given the circumstances. A lot of brown grass, etc.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I should say a lot of overgrown grass. It wouldn't get brown out here with as much rain as they get.
What do you suppose the likelihood is that you're gonna get drawn on when going up to that front door?
I mean,
Not a lot.
We're pretty safe. I mean, you saw all the civilians patrolling, so.
Oh no!
They know who
I'm
we
saying
are.
that you're gonna startle that dude.
Why would he be startled?
You mean like surprise him that he's here, or like startle him as in like scare him that somebody came to his door?
Right, because he's
No,
here
that,
under
that
witness
right is not an answer to my
protection.
question. You mean startle him as in, whoa, somebody's here, or whoa, Dr. Prasik, you're here.
Oh no, it's definitely the first one.
Whoa, someone is here. Okay.
Right.
I don't think that'll be a problem, but the Dr. Prasik part may startle him, so to speak.
I mean, I don't think
I'm gonna go
that's-
knock the door.
That's definitely not you're gonna get shot
Okay.
at for that one.
You dismount the vehicle and begin walking up the steps to the front door. You get up to the front door and give it a hearty rap. And a few moments later, you see a gentleman who looks to be probably in his mid to late 30s. Opens the door. He has like brown eyes and kind of like dirty blonde hair. He looks a little bit disheveled, like he hasn't shaven in a day or two.
Oh, okay.
But I should say his hair actually is not unkempt. It's combed.
He's just not
he's-
shaved.
Yeah, he's wearing pretty average attire for like home, pretty casual wear. And he opens the door and says, "Can I help you?"
Good morning. I'm Dr. Zlat Prasik. I am looking for a Dr. Lambert Brower.
He says, "Zlat Prasik."
Yep.
Oh, I see the resemblance. Hi. How are you?
Oh, you must be Lambert. I'm reach out, grab his hand, and say hi. I believe you met my brother Hakan.
Oh, yeah. I can see the familiar resemblance. How are you doing?
Good.
Come in. He kind of looks past you at your entourage that's still sitting in the car.
Yeah, I'm waving to them. Hey, it's okay. You can come on over.
I immediately poop myself. just uncontrolled. No, I'm kidding. I'll get out of the car. Head towards him.
This is Dr. Idgeville Axel.
Dr. Axel, good to meet you. Just call me Lambert.
Please, pleasure's mine. Axel is fine.
And
Yeah, and I like stop looking through the binoculars at the seat battle.
Sitting in a car looking out and directly.
No, because like we show up and he gets out and I immediately grab the binoculars and turn around and start looking back at it. And you guys, oh no, okay, it's fine. I'm like, oh right.
Who's your creepy friend in the car with the binoculars staring at me?
he's having
Right,
a
I
hard
have the
time seeing
binoculars,
things
like,
right now.
on
He might have
him.
to get his
Yeah.
eyes checked.
That's Vought.
It
He
worries
doesn't
me
speak
even
Grettir
more
damn
because
well.
He's our pilot.
God,
Are you coming in, Vought, or are you going
Oh
elsewhere?
yeah, I'll come inside.
Okay.
So
You guys walk into his house, into his like main living room, and you can see that there are papers all over the place, and you see him start moving to like clean up the area, having not expected guests. You see what look like schematics and papers with like scribblings on them, mathematical equations and whatnot like that.
I was gonna say, with a quick glance around, do I recognize anything that looks like his work with Savange? And
What's your obsession with Servage? It's actually trash.
No, you
Fuck it,
don't see anything right off the
fuck it,
bat.
I'm gonna re-roll that because you know what? I haven't re-rolled anything yet. Hell yeah!
Okay.
Hell yeah!
There's nothing related to Savange in this room. However, you do see a couple of mathematical formulas that could prove interesting to your work in the designs.
Oh my.
The designing process for streamlining energy, or the energy differentials in your rifle.
Well, Lambert, sorry for the unannounced intrusion. I believe. Well, I believe you're aware of Savange and its properties.
Yeah. Wait. I'm sorry, Dr. Prasik. You look familiar to me. You see him walk and kind of look at Mr. Vought. I know you. Have we met before?
I don't know.
I can't quite place it.
You spend any time in Vinland?
Your accent, yeah. I thought you were from Vinland. Go ahead and make a greater damage roll for me if you wish.
Yep. Oh, right. There we go.
It turns out he's the guy whose drink you spilled in Octarine.
Oh, well,
He never forgot.
that'd be kind of hilarious. Oh, it's very broken. I mean, it's a pass, but it's not very good.
Mine's is broken.
Okay. He says in English, would you prefer we speak in English? Is that all right?
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
He nods. He says, yeah, you seem familiar to me. I can't quite place it. It's like... You see, he snaps his finger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He snaps his fingers and says, I saw you on a fight reel with Jack Dempsey, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. He's a friend of mine.
You're like a semi-pro boxer from USV, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but him and I would train together and practice at the same boxing studio.
Oh, man. That is so awesome. I'm a huge fan of the sport.
Clear my throat.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. He switches back to greater damage.
I was saying.
My apologies, Dr. Prasic. You see him kind of like wave a finger like we gotta talk after this.
Yeah, and I shake my head.
Oh, as I was saying, you are aware of Savange and its properties, and I believe you had acquired a few samples of it from my brother.
He says, yeah, we, Hakan and I did do some work. I originally sought him out because I found a sample in Nengriond, where I'm from. As you probably know, I teach there.
Yes.
It turns out that the EEIA had some of these things, and they brought some of the local scientists in. Myself and Dr. Einhurst Kleinen, who were working in the labs in Negriond when the capitulation happened. We had gotten some of these samples that they claimed were potentially a new power source. Now, these things were really volatile, as you probably already know, but
Yes.
the samples that we saw didn't come from, as I'm to understand, the mines that wherever your family gets their samples from. The documents that we found, you see him walk over to a table in the living room, and he kind of looks down at some of the papers. He says, some of the materials that we were given apparently were extracted, we, of course, hypothesized illegally from somewhere in the Sentinel Mountains, at least according to the documents that the EIA provided with us. Now, this seems to be a different type of material than the ones that come from Savange, and is a bit more unstable, but it led the two of us to essentially theorize that there's a process that these materials might be enriched. After a couple of months of work for the EIA, we managed to produce a few samples, and they had greatly enhanced power yields.
This enrichment process you speak of, do you happen to have the work you did with it, the process on hand, maybe documentation on the procedure?
Well, the procedure, of course, requires very specialized equipment. Most laboratories wouldn't even have the stuff for the process. The EIA is trying their hardest to, I think, weaponize this technology. The properties of the material itself, without being utilized to any, nefarious purposes, is already inherently dangerous. And
I'm
the enriched
well aware.
form is multiplicatively more dangerous. I have some of the work that we had done and I could probably attempt the process. But really, one of the main, I would say the main workhorse would be Dr. Einhorst Kleinen, who did, well, a lot of the machining to make the facilitation of the enrichment process viable. He had to invent certain machines that, well, frankly, didn't exist prior to our theory that the enrichment process was possible.
If you can recall what the machines do specifically, and if you have some of the procedures on hand, I'm sure we can start getting something together. I mean,
if you had a talented enough diesel technician, I'm sure that we could probably
I
figure
have
it out.
I have probably one of the lead ones. I know one back in Octarine right now. He's working in the diesel labs as we speak.
Oh, Zandink? I'm sure that he
Yes.
wouldn't give it the time of day.
No.
This sort of thing is, well, direct weaponry, and he's a bit old school for the new innovations that are coming due to the war.
Smile and no, I know of Zandig's son, if it were, is much more interested in the possibility of weaponizing.
I wasn't aware that he had a son.
Not many people are. There. But yes, I mean, do you have the procedures here? Maybe I can take a look at them and see if there's anything I can parse together from it, and
Like I said, it's I only have about half of the equation here, honestly. The machines do a lot of the work. They're required for, the process to happen. We're talking about like atomic colliders and
yes, centrifuges,
things like that, centrifuges, etc.
What is it? It's like centrifuges. It's some kind of other separating thing, and then something else on a collider. It's not a collider. You don't do any colliders with it. It's just a matter of like you're taking apart the material and putting it back, while getting rid of all the inherent the bad shit that's in it, all the fucking extra crap.
Well, I don't know from the diesel tech standpoint, but that's where
I've done some
I relied.
work with Savange myself, getting it up slightly in concentration, but what you're
Your
talking
brother
about,
mentioned,
but what you're talking about and what I've seen is far, far in excess of anything I've been able to do in all my years working with it.
Well, that's likely because if you saw some of the samples that Hakan had, some of those were from the Sentinel Mountain facility.
That's where the 42 came from, I guess. Well then.
I can give you my notes on the enrichment process, but
yes, that's
unless you get Zandink to help you with this, I don't know that you'll be able to craft the machinery that you'll need for the process.
Primarily, that is why I was here. I was hoping that you would be willing to share the notes with me.
If it's to stop the EIA, I'll help you as much as I can. Those bastards need to pay for what they've done. Not just to my country, but to other countries as well.
It's unfortunate that we have to turn to such means to do it. I mean, we both saw the horrors of Savange used as a weapon.
Well, I can't say that we'll all feel good about the things that we worked on during the course of this war. But that won't help us if we're dead.
Nope.
If they get it first, it's likely that the EIA won't be able to be stopped. Coincidentally, it's my understanding that Dr. Einhorst Kleinen has been moved, most likely to Minsk or Voldiviskaya by the EIA. I'm sure they're bringing back samples for him to enrich as we speak.
know, it's better that we get started on this our enrichment process as well as soon as possible.
Let me get some of my notes for you.
Sure.
He goes around and collects some journals.
I wanted to mention, I noticed out north in Rutger. I know it's not really my business to do so, but north of Rutger Island, there's a naval battle happening. In fact, you have 4 Jaeger mechs right out there waiting to move to the beach, from the looks of things. Do you want to stay here?
He looks around for a second and he hands you a couple of journals. He says, I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of done running from the war. I've already lost my country.
I mean, I would appreciate any more help you can help me do with this. I'm gonna crack open one of the books as he hands them to me and start paging through real quick, seeing what I can figure out while we talk.
Looking through the book, you can see that there's definitely information on like the enrichment process. The material that he is working with seems to be like a slightly different like mineral compound than the one that you work with that comes from the mines of silver.
Okay.
One that is more unstable to start with, but doesn't produce as high of a yield after the enrichment process. The stabilized savage that comes from the mines of silver is the one that actually produces an enriched version 30 times like stronger than its native
Okay. So they're
power.
They're getting a harder time doing it because of the crap that they have to work with it. And it's
Yeah.
like falling apart on them constantly, essentially. They're essentially the Intel of chip making right now.
Oh no! No!
Hawk gets it. Did you know about that? Intel's fucking waste factor right now is like they lose like almost half of the chips they're trying to make constantly. And that's why Intel chips are costing so much.
Weird.
They can't get a good process down.
Yeah.
I know some of the guys you can blame for that, actually.
Call them up and tell them they're idiots real quick for me.
Yeah,
Put it
I'll
on
do that, no
speaker.
problem. Well, because there's an
that's
Intel
so?
plant. There's an Intel plant in Phoenix, out on the west side.
Oh,
Yeah, and so I know a couple of, because they're like a huge employer of people, and so I know a couple of dudes. I know like 2 or 3 guys that work for them. So yeah, I'll yell at them for you, no problem.
All right, cool. Anyway,
Hey, my online
so
buddy
they suck.
said that you're a piece of trash.
right.
So,
company
Yeah.
shit. You're shit.
Get your Spear's act together, scrub.
You're never gonna be nothing. You hear that, Duck? You're just like your father.
Awesome.
Alright. But yeah, so
So what? AMD is like the fucking thing right now.
AMD's gotten really good
No.
at it. They don't
They're-
have as high of a waste factor.
they're not.
So
the
Intel
thing.
is better, but their process is shit. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically like they make it really good for the
When it works.
consumer when it works. Other than that, though, no. They're
What does that mean for the consumer? Does that mean that Intel chips
Consumer
are like
plays
burning
higher
out?
price.
Oh, okay. So they're paying a higher price
Yeah.
for a
essentially,
better
it's like,
product,
okay,
but
so the way
it's only
chips,
because of the waste. I gotcha.
because the way chips are made, it's like you make a whole batch of them, but like they essentially have to throw away like half of the chips that come out of that batch every single time
Weird.
because they don't work, because they won't work at all.
No.
But AMD's got it down.
All right.
where
So I
it's
guess
like,
that
yeah,
is kind
most
of like
chips-
I guess that is kind of a good analogy then for the Savage that they're getting.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Lambert looks at you for a second. He says, "I suppose I could get out of here, but after everything that's happened, I'm just in
Close
a
the
different
book.
headspace right now."
I'm gonna close the book. Look, Lambert, I'm being given a lab, and I'm being given access to resources, and for the sake of Gryderdam and everyone who's lost things in this war, I want to get to work on this as soon as possible to save some more lives, if it's even at all possible using Savage. My goal with Savage has never been to weaponize it. It's always been to create something that might get us away from diesel altogether. I don't see diesel as like an ends to our energy needs, and Savant
It's a
is
pretty
probably-
disgusting material, really, when you look at it on a scientific level.
It is
Very
really-
inelegant.
It's very nasty, but what you've created with it is far more powerful than anything we've ever dreamed of in our our wildest imagination. And I can see it powering cities for decades, centuries even. A small sample of it is enough to do wonders at this point. We've had even my normal amount that I've barely gotten anywhere near concentrated is able to power a diesel mech. Imagine what we can do with this.
Look,
I'm
I
shaking
know
with-
what potentially this can do for energy around Grider Dam. Well, the world, honestly, but we have to be honest. The only people that are investing in this technology right now are the people who are running weapons development programs. And this spells almost certain doom for the human race, as the military are not going to use this technology responsibly. And even if they do, it's only a matter of time until this technology leaks into somebody's hands who, will not use it responsibly and will weaponize it.
Damn it, I have something for this, but I'm not here.
Look, while I do not have the reins of its development at the moment, I intend to take them back as soon as this is over. And my intention is not to use Savant as a weapon, but rather a tool to advance us further and faster than we've ever gone before. And I would like someone as young as you to help me with it. What you've created here with Klein Hexel and the work you've done so far is gonna help the human race.
Klein Hexel, who's that?
Sorry, not Klein Hexel.
Kleinen, yeah, I get.
Kleinen, you know what I'm talking. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Klein Hexel's dead.
Klein Hexel!
Klein Hexel's dead. We don't know Klein Hexel no more.
God damn it!
Bang!
My arch
She wasn't gonna
nemesis
make it outta
returns
here.
from the dead again.
But yeah, Kleinen, I really do want someone like you on my side here.
I understand that, but I mean, what are we going to be using this technology for? Clearly, the GNA is going to fund you to make weapons.
For now.
I mean, that's how all innovation works in the scientific community.
Well, we need
For
the
the
money.
money, for the most side, outside of medicine, perhaps. But even medical procedures are generally invented to help soldiers survive longer.
That's familiar.
Well, that's a little embarrassing to hear, but also very much a truth. My friend here is looking to actually bring people back from the death. He wants to use the forbidden jutsu, reanimation jutsu.
That comes later.
Comes later, yeah.
Tell you what, old man, beat me in a game of Knuckles and,
Knuckles.
Oh, there you go.
Dante's never been in middle school before.
See him roll up
Alright,
his
let's
sleeves, he
go.
puts up his dukes, and I'll work for you in your lab.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna take my coat off. Suddenly I get buffed out like Roshi.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
A DBZ reference I do get.
I haven't had to stretch like that in years.
Now spend the next 3 episodes powering yourself up for a Kame Kameha that you're gonna miss anyway.
Oh my
Oh no.
Ooh.
Thanks, I
They
hate
hooked him
it.
right in the Duke.
He looks for a moment and says, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm probably not any good to you right now. My heart's really not in it. I've fallen prey to a melancholy as of late that doesn't seem to want to abate. I already know that there are a lot of people who are going to die over my research. That's what I was speaking to Hakan about. I was trying to warn him not to extract this for the GNA. Of course, like an idiot, I enriched some of his savange to prove that the process worked in the first place. And Lord knows what's happened with that.
Well, most of it's in my hands still. It's only one sample. But that's not important. What is that You're a bright young man. I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder. You still have a lot of work you can do to help us all. If you change your mind, you know, you can come look for me in Octarine or in Silver in a little while.
You hear a detonation on the beach. Oh, I've changed my mind. Let's go.
Oh, get me out of here.
You walk back. The Senora has a giant hole in it. God damn it!
Oh, I just buffed that out.
Saw that coming.
I'm
He
gonna
says,
say,
"Yeah, I'll think it over, and if I come to a decision, I'll meet you in Octarine. Just leave me your address."
yeah, I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna Axel, piece of paper, please. Oh wait, you got paper all over the place. Can you give me a pen?
He kind of steps away, like kind of refreshing his head, and looks out the window. He says, "Mr. Vought."
Yeah.
Says, "So, what's Jack like in person?"
You know, he can be a little loud, right, in groups. You know, a lot of people want his attention, so he's got to kind of put on a show for people. But you know, being in the boxing ring, he's right at home, man. And he's a good friend, and he's thoughtful, which is something I don't think a lot of people give him credit for.
Man, I wish we were in times of peace. I'd go over to the USV in a heartbeat. Go,
Well, I gotta
see a
plane,
couple of fights.
and at some point, you know, I'm gonna go back home. So if you're still around,
Huh.
you want to head over to the USV, then I'd be more than happy to take you. I got space.
That'd be quite an adventure. Yeah, I might take you up on that offer.
Now you're speaking my language.
Neither of you are speaking my language.
It's actually Grinderdam, so it's all of our languages.
What, you just switching over to English? Hamburger.
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 I wish I had that sound clip. I'd play it.
You sit there and
Go-
talk shop with Lambert for a little bit, and he seems to forget about like his melancholy for a bit as the two of you talk about like fighters statistics and like the American boxing leagues and whatnot. Strangely, the rest of you guys in the room are kind of quiet as you watch the fucking meathead Vought and this scientist talk about the sweet science.
Of beating a man's face in.
Yep.
The meathead, yeah.
Nothing like
Yeah.
a little good
Well, I mean,
science.
to two doctors, yeah,
No,
the
no,
meathead.
for sure. Talking about these dudes that are talking about a sport in which two guys beat the shit out of each other. Yeah. Totally.
This guy seems to share a lot of the same pastimes as you. He knows a lot of the current like top contender racers in the like motorcycle leagues and
Oh
whatnot.
wow. He's probably actually better informed than I am because I've been out and about the past few months.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of commiserate in the lack of information flowing right now, as the war seems to be drowning out any type of, or for the most part, a lot of the sports news and whatnot.
But I do mention the bike, and I mentioned I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or not, but I mentioned the Dragonfly or the Pegasus or the Bicorn or whatever the hell. we're
Yeah,
calling it.
yeah, the Dragonfly.
Yeah, so I mentioned that to him because I think that it's like not everything that has to come out of, not all the technology that has to come out of this war has to be horrendous stuff. Some of it can be just be things that are cool and interesting in their own right.
The two of you sit there and he brings out like tea, and the two of you kind of like sit there and talk shop. Actually, all of you guys like throw in a little bit here and there, but he theorizes like a racing league that could be used with the technology, the Dragonflies. That could be like incredibly exciting, stuff like that. And if you want to make a fighting or piloting roll, you can shift his demeanor towards you. This would be in lieu of a persuasion roll, as you guys have a common bond in this respect.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do a fighting.
He gives
There
you
you
one
go.
of his bennies.
Fucking Reaganomics.
13.
What'd you say, Spoon?
I just fucking randomly threw out, oh, fucking Reaganomics.
More like Knucklenomics.
Brother.
Okay, and you guys sit there for a little bit, and he genuinely seems to like forget his problems, and seems a lot more relaxed and a lot less pent up after the conversation. He actually seems somewhat jovial to like not think about research or the war for a few minutes. You know, he seems much more pliable at this point.
That's awesome. It's good to know that not all of you guys are just fucking eggheads.
Now bring in some horse
He says
racing
everybody-
and I'll be on par.
Everybody has their pastimes, you know.
Mine's is hunting.
Mine's
But,
getting some of that good old wop.
He asks
Weaponized assault
if he can.
penguins?
He asks if he can see your bike, and
Yeah.
ask if you want to check out his. He's made his own
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
bike. You see that he has a custom bike that has been made basically off of race specifications. It is barely legal for the racing league, as it seems to have had. It's basically engineered to about probably 13 to 15 horsepower.
Yeah. A little above the limit.
A little.
Well, yeah, because it's 10. I think 10 horsepower is the limit.
Yeah, these are small bikes with no brakes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And they wear no helmet. They just
Yeah,
ride
it's
around on course.
it's,
Yeah, it's
a
fucking
death
dangerous.
sentence,
What a bunch of fucking champions.
right?
Holy shit, that shit was scary to look at. They just come to a rolling stop. That's how they stop.
No, you just
Right.
bail. Just bail and let the bike go. Then you rebuild it later. Sounds great.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, given the opportunity, I'd love to. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Given the opportunity, I'd love to go riding with you, man. Seems like
word
it'd be a lot
is
of fun.
word is that they were in the process of looking at building a stadium for motorcycles in Hove.
Is that so?
Yeah, I was really hoping we'd get to league sports out here pretty soon. It'd be pretty cool to see leagues like interchange with the USV. You know, have racers come over here and back over there.
An international circuit, yeah. That'd be awesome. I mean, even in the interim, I'm sure there's. Actually, I think over in Valois they actually have a pretty good motordrome that they've put
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, they do.
You boys got everything you need?
Yep, just enjoying conversations.
I'm just gonna point to some more of his notes. In the event you don't come with us, particularly the ones about like, you know, energy, said energy conservation and transference. You mind if I look these over some more?
The journals.
Yeah, this one right here. This one in particular. It's quite interesting.
Just take them with you.
Okay. Are you sure?
I have.
You-
Yeah, I have most of the process memorized. We've done it so many times.
No, I was talking. More
I'm the
about,
person
like,
who came up
uh,
with this process, so
Oh, I was talking more about these ones right here. This work that you're working on. The you know, his formulas on energy transfers. Yeah.
which
Okay.
ones for what?
Oh, the ones that you mentioned earlier. His energy transference and conservation.
Oh
So
yeah.
that would be good with the laser.
Oh, that she's
Oh, I see. You're talking about stuff that you saw around the room.
Yeah. It's like
He says, "Yeah, sure. I mean, just a potential battery pack that would use something different kind of material than we typically use for the ones that are emerging now."
instead of using. Okay, I see what you're going with. You sure you don't want to come with me? This stuff would revolutionize the world.
Make a persuasion roll. Oh no.
He's been buttered, Dante. His buns have butter on
That's
it.
what the whole thing with fucking Phoenix was.
Oh, let me Benny that. 'cause
I
that's only
mean, Axel could assist you.
That's true. Or he could roll for you.
minus the forget the unless you want to give me.
I mean,
the
Axel's
+2,
supposed to be like the
because
god of
he's a
persuasion in this
fellow
game. He gets like a fucking free reroll.
You want to give me the +2 because he's a fellow scientist, you know. But that's that would be a
I'll give you
five.
an assist if you want.
yeah.
May I assist by telling him about all the really awesome and valuable research that...
It's about lives, man. I'm not a science
Right.
doctor. I'm a doctor. I'm all about saving
Yeah,
lives.
I mean, justify it however you want. What skill do you want to use?
Persuasion.
How are you going to use it? Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh,
use
well, that's-
persuasion
that's
by
fine.
explaining to him, like, in all honesty, I have watched Dr. Prasik's work, and it has never been about weapons or anything of related, you know, anything of relation to that. And then I do this, and I also get a free reroll. So, well, we'll go with the, you know which one we'll go with.
Or you could just drop the easy bait and just say, by the way, Zending's son is a robot.
No, I want that to
So
the
that'll be a
surprise.
+1 to Prasik's 7. That makes an 8. That's success with a raise. He is friendly towards you at this point. After a little bit of cajoling, and now that he's like, you can see he obviously has no longer has the chip on his shoulder after being kind of softened up by the conversation with Vought and being brought out of the thoughts of just perpetual war. He looks at you and says, "You know what? You're right. It's selfish of me to think that this research couldn't be used for anything but weaponry. I understand that that's how most of this research gets funded in the first place, but I guess that has to be a step, and it's probably my responsibility to become an advocate for using this technology in other ways."
Exactly. I don't want to be the man that builds weapons for my entire life. I want to be the man that builds tools and things that we use to make the world a better place. It's in fact
I could
why
build the first atomic racer.
Yes. Let's just hope you build it
Foreshadowing
to
to
be
the
very
next Atomic Punk game.
safe. Prasik Industries. Fusion cells.
We could be on Mars by the 2050s. Atomic Punk.
But
I
yeah,
love playing
look,
Fallout 4.
like I said, I've been given an opportunity to head my own research department, and let's face it, they haven't told me I have to develop weapons. I could simply just develop new battery packs with you, new sources of power using this sponge. Think of it like that. Like we don't need to build weapons. It could be part of them. Hell, I could refashion all of the industry instead. I don't have to sell silver my whole life.
He says, yeah, you know what? I will go with you. It's going to take me some time to gather my possessions from the home and alert the military to where I'm going to be moving, but where do you want me to go? Where do you want me to be to help you out?
Well, for now, I mean, we've been in Octarine, but I don't think the OSI would want you there. I'd look out the window. I don't think it's safe for you to be here anymore, especially considering how close the battle is getting to this front. Maybe we need to talk to someone who might be more of the know of where they should transfer you to until we can actually set up until we can transfer you to Silver at least, because that's where they're going to set up the lab. And it'd be a
So
closest
should I
place
go
we-
with you, or should I head to Silver and just await contact?
I
Oh,
would
I mean, if you
come with us.
you should
come with
yeah,
us, and then
you should
we'll
come with us. Like, even if you end up going to Silver, it'll be way fast. We can take you there way faster than you can
Yeah.
if you're on your own.
Also, there's a lot of military activity currently in progress at Silver. I can't disclose some of it right now, but
Of course.
it would probably be best if you remained in civilian life as long as possible. Being that I'm still in like a military uniform, so it's quite obvious who, you know.
Yeah.
So what? You maybe like how long do you think it'll take for you to pack up your stuff here? A couple days.
Yeah, probably a day and a half for important stuff. I don't know. I'd probably have to get a lorry or something like that. Pack up some of my other equipment.
Okay, so we'll be back on Monday.
Monday would be fine.
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Well, Lambert, I look forward to a long working relationship with you.
He stands up and offers you his hand.
Let me reach
Indeed,
out and
Dr.
grab it to
Prasic.
him.
I look forward to it as well. Dr. Axel?
Pleasure meeting you. I expect to work with you quite closely in the near future.
The pleasure is mine. Mr. Vought?
We'll train together soon.
I'll get my gloves. Make sure they're in the first box I packed.
Yeah, that's
He
probably a
doesn't
good
look
plan.
like a weedy scientist. He looks like, I mean, he doesn't look like a boxer, per se, but he looks like he could probably fight in like like the featherweight, or maybe if he bulked up a little bit in the bantamweight divisions.
Sure. No, I mean he's definitely a guy that doesn't do this professionally. Like he thinks
Right.
for a living. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hobbyist, but he's got that thrill seeker thing about him, to some degree, which has been likely muted by academia.
No.
Education
All right.
rots the mind.
That's right.
Well.
Thank you, gentlemen. You give me something to look forward to.
Monday.
I'll meet you at this address. He waves the slip of paper.
Yep. I'll inform Olaside that you're gonna be on your way so that they can make sure
Of
everything's
course,
secure and safe. Yeah.
They monitor every travel that I make.
All right. Very
You
well.
guys exit the you exit his house and head back out to the Silver Ghost. You can see that he's already like looking back through the window of the house. He already seems to be like getting paperwork together and getting his ass in gear. Off to the north, you can see what looks like the naval battle still raging on.
Good thing we got a couple days. If you came with us right then, I think we might scare him off with anything that might happen in the next couple days.
Yeah.
You guys get back at the Silver Ghost and head back to the Sea Senora, passing through the checkpoints again, and making your way out to the beach of Rutger Island, the South Beach. You re-embark you remount the Silver Ghost and get back in the plane.
Yep, and lift the rear door and taxi out and fly back to Octarine.
Give me a piloting roll, please.
All right.
88 millimeter inbound.
Very, very nice.
Oh my god.
10, 10, 6.
Oh
Okay.
my god, that's amazing.
The reason that I asked you to give me this roll is because what looks like Russian biplanes are now flying over Rutger Island, and you can see flak coming up from the main fortress. Now, flak is kind of indeterminate since there's no radio to like be for you to tell them like, hey, we're friendlies, go in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing a large ass plane taking off from the south side of the island, well, they don't see you guys until you're up in the air. Some of that flak actually gets directed at you guys, as the fortification is now like trying to ward off like primitive bombers. With your expert flying, you manage to completely evade the flak, as you can see like black explosions in the air around you as you head southbound, and very quickly you exit the AO and are well on your way back to Octarine.
Nice.
Why they gotta be black smokes?
Okay, it's African American smoke, all right? Anyways. A few minutes later, you guys touch down in the harbor and taxi back to the military dock, where you disembark the Silver Ghost and head back to the Prasic Townhouse. By the time you're done with all of this, it's probably about 1 in the afternoon, having gotten a pretty early start, and of course the flight was nothing for time, but actually it's probably earlier than that now that I think about it. It's like, depending upon when you guys left, it's probably like 9:30 a.m. actually.
But it's all the lead up and stuff, the getting to the airfield, getting through the checkpoint, getting from the airfield, taxiing out, all that stuff is what eats up time. The actual flight was probably nothing. But yeah, everything else probably took significant
But of
time.
course, having a geriatric and a fucking military man in your party means that you guys get up at fucking dawn practically.
Early
Yeah.
to bed, early to rise.
Yep, that's what I always say.
Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Early to bed, early to
alright.
rise until the man blasting the trumpet is dead.
Oh no. That's against the rules and you'll be court-martialed.
Only if they find out.
What's that fucking base where all the military people keep getting murdered lately? Have
No idea.
you guys heard about that?
Yeah, they've had like 4 shootings there or something.
Like, women keep getting disappeared and found, like, their bodies fucking, like, active personnel. It's
Yeah,
like up to
that's
4 murders or some shit like that at this point.
Please
There's
don't
some
let it
fucking-
happen again.
There's some bad shit going on there. Anyways,
It's all conspiracy theory stuff, so.
figure out what you're going to do with the evening. I'm going to take a leak real quick, and I'll be right back.
Fort Hood, I think.
Fort
is what
Hood.
He's talking about, yeah.
Yep.
Just looked it up.
Yep, there we go. 4 shooting incidents occurred on military bases in the U.S. as of 2019.
We're all Fort Hood.
Yep. Yeah, what the fuck's in the water over there?
Where is Fort Hood and why is it so fucking bad? Just don't be in New York. Fort Hood is Texas. Okay, good.
Corpus Christi.
Is it is right by Corpus Christi? Is that what it's at?
I believe so.
And believe we were gonna do a meet up there. Holy shit.
No, we'll be alright.
Yeah, we're not military.
Speaking of, I never got my money back.
Uh-oh. Better call Ashley.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was, if I hadn't gotten laid off, I was like gonna probably come.
No, I was 100% inbound. I was gonna sit out there on the dock all day, fish, barbecue. I was about to have the time of my life.
Alright. I'm back.
Fort Hood
gonna
is
piss off
outside,
Doc.
just outside of Waco, Texas.
Your mother.
Was it Fort Hood?
Yeah, Fort
That
Hood.
was Corpus. Maybe something else happened at Corpus, and now I don't remember what.
All right. It's that
Yeah.
Friday.
Right, so I think we're gonna get all dolled up and ready to rock and roll for this thing
Yep,
tonight.
yep.
So are we wearing full suits? Or are we
Yeah,
wearing
it's like fancy.
it's the real deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get that clothes that we were gonna wear for the dinner out again.
Oh yeah, boy! Big expensive suit coming out of the closet again.
Hey baby, I missed you.
Are you going to bring Terminus to have him on standby in case any fuckery happens?
Well, that's up to.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we would like Terminus
I
to
feel like
come.
we should.
Yeah. I think we all agree Terminus being, bodyguard Terminus for a little bit.
Definitely worth
Terminus.
having if he's not going to be busy with something else.
Terminus, sentry mode, engage.
I mean, you guys can just come and ask me.
Yeah, we gotta go find him and ask him first.
You don't ask your subordinates. You
Ooh.
command them.
I'm not in the military. I'm not your subordinate.
How do I find you? Are you on Facebook? What's that?
I wonder what he's been doing for like the past 3 days.
How do I
Plastic is
find-
basically like
Come
your
find
uncle.
me. That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get dolled up. We'll look clean. We're gonna look fresh.
And go find Terminus.
Tell him
Yeah.
to look clean, look fresh.
You head down to the R&D labs, Dr. Prasic, where you find out quite delightfully that essentially by royal decree, you now have access, full compound access to the research and development division. No more chaperones.
Hell yeah.
And in his absence, you are essentially given like co-authority over Zandink's lab. You're essentially considered partners with Terminus. Of course, now Professor fucking Zandink, or excuse me, Dr. Zandink has, if he comes back, it will be given back to him in that case. But until then, you actually have your own lab. R&D has all the machine shops you could ever fucking want. Labor force comprised of scientists, technicians, robots at your disposal.
Okay, that's good news.
Access to experimental materials like plastic.
I prefer you call it by its real name. Plastic.
Well, I mean, Bakelite is really what we should be calling it.
Bagelite.
This early on. It wouldn't be called plastics yet. Because it's the only real plastic around is Bakelite. And those, invented by
I mean, we're still calling tanks. We can make some room for the fantasy boys.
You're right.
Not in my fantasy world.
True, because tanks. Well, no, tanks in World War One were called tanks. They were called that as part of their code name.
Exactly. We have heard nothing about them being transported in giant water tanks.
That's because most of that has happened on a different front.
Yeah.
We don't use water around here. Coca-Cola only.
I don't even know that we use tanks.
We use Brondo. Get out of here.
Brondo. It's got what the plants need.
It's what plants crave.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually just gonna leave. They'll say something like that again.
But yeah, no.
They need their electrolytes, man.
What are even our electrolytes? Do you even know what that is?
You're supposed to use water. What do you
want?
mean, the stuff in toilets?
God, that movie's so good.
So anyway,
saw
we
that
all
when
look
it
really
came out, I was
fresh.
Yeah, I gotta.
I was
go
like,
find
this
that.
is impossible. Let's flash forward to today. Oh my god.
Jeez, we're getting so close to it. Gee.
Right?
We look
We're
fresh
getting
to death.
dangerously close to idiocracy.
For sure.
Holy shit! All the rich people are gonna leave and go to Mars.
And Baker's gonna inherit the Earth.
Oh god. But yeah, I'm looking for.
Tell you what, Buzz.
Stop! Make me choke. Terminus, where are you?
Back already?
Ah, yeah. I'm putting down all the research notes. Yeah.
What's all this?
This is Lambert Bauer's work on apparently what he's calling a enrichment process.
Where on God's earth did you find this?
Castor, like I said this morning.
You never told me anything.
I told you yesterday.
No, you
We talked
didn't.
about this. You were there.
You never saw me once. You talked.
You're still
You
in
must.
the laboratory when you told everyone at the house.
Oh, you stayed here overnight. I could have. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind then. Rewind a little bit and we start again. Yes, Castor was where Lambert had been kept by OSI for the time being.
Very well.
Yeah, been looking for him for a while, and turns out OSI knew exactly where he was.
Did you need
Yes.
something?
Yes, particularly here, and I'm gonna turn to the pages where he mentions the machinery and stuff and that. It's incomplete, but I think between me and you, we can start recreating it.
Very well, but I anticipate that this likely won't be done until after we've assaulted the New Dawn.
Probably not. But I think we can get started. Get the rest of the diesel tech in on it. Maybe start devoting some more workers towards Sauvage research and development. Now that we know how the enrichment process, essentially, at least somewhat the framework of it.
You're the lead researcher.
I mean, I know a lot of stuff about it, but I didn't know that we can enrich it yet. In fact, the samples
What is
that
this
we have here,
gentleman doing at the moment, by the by?
which one? Oh, Lambert?
Bauer, yes.
He's
He's
soaking.
packing.
He
is what
should
he's
be.
doing.
Yeah, he should be packing, is what I say. He agreed to, well, north of Rutger
Is
Island.
this some kind of innuendo to say that you killed him?
No, we didn't. No, why would we kill him? We needed
I
him.
don't know. You had Vought with you.
Why would you assume Vought would kill him?
He's gotten into a fight in precisely 9 out of 10 times that I've gone out with him.
Oh. Huh.
That
That's
is
a slight
overwhelming.
exaggeration.
That
But
is overwhelming odds.
It's pretty overwhelming.
that also
I'm
doesn't
thinking
mean
about
that
it now.
I killed him.
I'm thinking about it now, and it's like, not wrong. Might have to consider that when we bring him out places. But anyway, like I was saying, speaking of people who fight and such, tonight we're going to the Lily's Leaf.
Lilac Reed.
Lilac Leaf. I thought it was a lily. A lilac leaf. Okay, the lilac.
Enjoy.
Lilac Reef.
Reef.
Lilac Reef.
Reef. Yes.
Reef. Got it. Lilac Reef. Well, I mean, yes, I'm hoping to enjoy our time there, but we're going to see if we can retrieve Striver, or if she'll even make an appearance there. And particularly, we wanted you to come along with us. First, because you are a very handsome fellow and a very imposing figure.
And a robot.
And the robot, yes. And secondly,
You're a robot.
no.
Yeah, I was like, but frankly, the imposing part is pretty major.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we wanted your presence there as your key portion of the team, and we need someone in the event things go sideways that we can count on to help us get out of it.
We need some muscle. You mean hydraulics?
Yeah, that'll work.
Artificial muscle.
They're stronger than muscles anyway.
Not to repeat myself, but I doubt they would let me in.
We're
Well-
not exactly hoping that you get in. It's mostly can you stay with the car and keep an eye out outside.
And
It's
watch
more
the
making-
back door.
Yeah, it's making sure others that may not need to be in there with us aren't in.
You want me around for when Bot punches someone, got it?
Well, more like Alyosha comes.
Let's go.
Oh, guess I don't have to convince you.
Grabbing my coat.
Hear him as he runs off. Oh boy, you old.
Awesome.
Get in the car.
God, that what did that sound? Oh, that sounded
How is
just
he
like
moving so fast?
You guys mount up and head back to
Oh.
the townhouse.
I'm like
Um,
almost incredulous.
Have y'all ever heard Mark? What is his name? Mark Rebullet. He does like YouTube, like really hilarious, like on YouTube. Sorry to break the game again, but he does like beats and stuff, and like makes music on like a loop station. And there, hold on, I'm gonna find it for you. And the voice that
Just
he
find
just
it and,
made. Oh God! It literally like instantly I heard it, and I was like, oh. Mark.
Alright. You guys mount up in the car and head back to the townhouse and start the process of getting dolled up for the evening.
Here it is. Okay, sorry, I found it. I'll timestamp the actual part, but oops, almost put that to all of Coalition. That'd have been a little embarrassing. That's the full video.
I've seen this guy.
I'll
He
look
was
at that later.
He
Mhm.
was streaming on fucking
Yep.
Reddit one day.
Yep. And this is actually the timestamp that, as soon as I heard it, it made me think about it. If you just want to power speed through.
Yeah, hey Terminus, we know you've been working for like 3 days straight. No one told you anything about where we were going, and but yeah, we need your help to just go and potentially shoot some guys.
God,
It's so fucking cool.
All right.
You didn't seem to care.
Oh,
You didn't seem to mind. Yeah, you were all for it.
The
down.
best part of it is when he gets done screaming and then like his just like complete like back into just like
He was
chill
fucking
mode.
busy, so he's fucking yelling at you. He's like, "Get in the car!"
We're going. We're doing this. Let's get it done.
I need to learn how to do this.
Do what?
Make
Anyway, I'm
fucking
sorry.
like produce music like this. I've been out of the music game for so long; it's fucking hurting my soul.
It's hard, dude. We'll talk about it after game.
Yeah.
No, I feel that though, man. I've been like thinking about learning to play keyboard.
Look, I've been learning for the last 4 years.
Really?
Not even better than what he
Yeah.
was when he started.
True, dude.
Oof.
It's a lot of
Okay.
fun. It's rewarding. Do it.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
So-
I have to retrain. We'll talk about it later. Sorry. But... Anyways. All right. So you guys are getting dolled up to go out to the Lilac Wreath on the south end of town. After you guys are suitably like ready for the occasion, you look each other over, and it seems as though you guys have done a fairly good job. But as part of his job, Mr. Bolt comes through and, of course, touches you up. And his ability to touch up your like evening attire and like fix the way everything sits, like somehow actually like just dials it up to the right amount of aristocracy that you're going for.
Hell yeah.
He comes
Thanks,
through with
Mom.
some of Hakan's like
Aftershave.
well, not aftershave, but per se, but like his accessories, you know, like, and he's like, no, that watch doesn't go with this, you know, to you, Dr. Prasic, and he's like, try this one, you know, and he goes over to like each person and like gives you the right fucking like breast pocket, handkerchief
square.
and
Yeah.
pocket squares, and after seeing like a man's man who's his profession, like come through and like square you guys up, you know, you realize really the true measure of what people like Mr. Balk and though you haven't seen him in forever, Mr. Bradsby,
The late
what they do, the late the ghost of Mr. Bradsby.
Rest in
Totally.
peace. Always remembered.
Rip.
He's loved and we all will miss him. Yes, you are considered a sovereign citizen. You have an ID in Gryderdom, as well as a passport. It
Nope.
can't be, can't really be refuted because it has all of the same like governmental, I don't know what accolades, I guess, to make it legit. Functionally speaking, you are no different from any other Gryderdem citizen, afforded all of its rights.
All right, so I'm just gonna write that down in my my warn shit, and I'm gonna get that laminated later.
That said, this is a provisionary license, you notice, or a provisionary ID. You will have to complete compulsory service to get like your full citizenship, as every citizen is required to do.
But since he's 5, he still has another 13 years, right?
Well,
Gotta wait another
he can
13 years before
start.
we can do it.
He can like go in and submit to compulsory service whenever he wants. But he's recognized as an individual here who is capable of starting and completing that service. It just shows that he is not like able to do that. For instance, like he's not able to like vote for local officials and things like that. Of course, the monarchy, you don't vote for them. Like, they're just there. But there are local officials who are voted into office, and until you complete your actual like service to the country, you won't be able to vote for those or to vote for policy changes in different various boroughs that you might live in.
Would it be possible, this is based on my knowledge, I'll roll if needed, would it be possible, knowing that he's becoming a citizen, that I could speak on his behalf for like his military service to like any of the royalty, like the name commander or even the knight commander or anybody like that, and actually have his terms of service accepted from royalty? I mean, being that they're royalty, I assume
they can bypass any law. Like, what they decree is functionally the law. So if in some case you wanted to like argue for his immediate skipping of that, you'd have to do so, but that would be a like essentially a royal court engagement, and you would have to like make the case and argue for him to be fast tracked.
I think I could get through that. Okay.
As long as they don't try to make me use the galleon M1910, I'm good.
Is a trash weapon.
Dare you speak ill of my country's weapon?
My character is still making notches in that fucking trench gun that he looted off of some dead Russlander.
That's all I want to know. I'm going to keep that on the back burner for...
But yeah, absolutely, if you were able to make a royal or an appeal to royalty to like fast track that and pull it off and make a compelling argument for it, then yeah, certainly royals could definitely like snap their fingers and it's done.
Like a knighthood.
No, I mean, I doubt you'd be able to argue for knighthood, but he might through service. Actually, through service, it's potential that many of you could get knighthoods, depending upon what you do.
Make a weapon of mass destruction.
All right, good. That's good to know. That's
A Savage bomb.
I was wondering whether or not this is a buy-in or honor system
For what?
for royal titles, like
Is it a
count,
buy-in?
duchess, knight, etc.
Well, things like that are generally done by lineage in this time. It being like essentially a total monarchy with some like democratic levers, I suppose. Of course, the democracy side of it is completely superseded by anything the royals want to do.
It's the UK.
It's also not to
No,
say
it's
that you couldn't be granted an
there's no
honorary
parliament.
title.
Like, it's essentially monarchy with a few democratic levers. Like,
Yeah.
they don't even have a full parliament.
Yeah, I feel like when we were ironing out like the idea of where Prasik stands and like nobility is, like Prasik is like part of that new age of individuals, like they're fucking rich merchants of the world right now. It's like they're on par with nobles.
Landed gentry.
Yeah, they're like on par with nobles as far as like influence is concerned because they have so much money and wealth and they're granted lands, but they're not granted titles.
And the moment the princess says she can snap your fingers and take all your shit.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, that's what they
Absolutely. I
did to
mean,
me.
that's the problem with living in a monarchy, you know.
Well, that's essentially what they did to me. The princess literally snapped her finger and said, "Hey, we're seizing all this stuff from
We
you
got,
for the
yeah,
time being."
the knight commander and actually the princess was like, yo, we're taking the mines at Zilver. We'll compensate you, we think fairly. We'll negotiate about it. But at the end of the day, we're taking your shit because this is now a national security threat.
Yeah.
This substance. So we need to make sure that it's monitored at the government level.
Yeah. It literally happened in that meeting.
I'm about to secure that WAP then, because let me take her out that's us. Whew.
That WAP. I still haven't even heard that song.
It's not worth it.
It's
I mean,
really
No, but I'll show you what is worth it. Hold on.
Pulls down his pants.
Sugar the Bella Delphine music video.
Oh, no.
Oh, you said Bella Delphine, did you?
Hold on. Got a thing for this.
You were thinking I died.
Yeah.
Surprise, I still got them double thick thighs.
That's all you get.
I heard Tanaka now plays that sound every time he goes stealth. Well,
That's amazing.
That'd be the one I want right there.
There you go. That's That's the one. That's the WAP you
Oh,
need to know.
of course. Yes. I love Richard Cheese.
That's good. That actually sounds really good. I'll probably listen to that later.
Fucking amazing. Anyways, so you guys are looking dapper and ready to hit the streets. Evening comes, and you guys all get out there and get into the Silver Ghost and make your way south towards the Lilac Wreath. As you appear at the Lilac Wreath, you can see that outside there are lights that are like electric lights that are spotlighting the building and illuminating it against the night sky. It looks like some sort of like semi-colonial era theater. Well, it's not completely a theater. It's a bar and lounge sort of situation. You notice, or you know that it is essentially like an after-hours high society club. This club does not open its doors until after probably 9 p.m. Let me see all
Oh,
the
it's one
stuff
of
here.
those clubs.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, during the seemly hours, you do things with your evening or go see a show or something like that. And then all of the high society people and celebrity come back to this place in the evening for, like, an after party, you know, or a nightcap, as it were. And while it's not like Studio 54 where it's like drugs and debauchery into the night, it's still a high society engagement. But there's definitely alcohol and a certain amount of like underworld, like I guess nod to the underworld. You can get drugs here. Obviously, they're well-connected people, or really anything.
You can bang that actress from those new movie screens. Showing.
I mean, if she's in the game for that, then sure. But like, this isn't. Like I said, it's not Studio 54, but rather a high society meeting point for, like, the elite and celebrity. All right, what are these rolls? Oh, I see. Okay. As you roll up, you go into a roundabout, and a valet comes out to park your vehicle. You all disembark the vehicle, and you can see that there are other people going in, people wearing expensive clothing, exotic furs, the very moneyed people who will probably never see the battlefield of Octarine. And Mr. Axel, you feel a little bit out of place, even in your outfit, simply due to the fact that, like, while these people probably technically completed their compulsory service, they were probably given like the cushiest experience you could possibly have in the military.
They're like desk clerks for 2 years or whatever.
Or like they were, the hand guy for an officer high up.
Yeah. You recognize some of the people from the GNA that are coming here tonight. Just people you've seen in passing, and you know that they're like a somebody, but not like somebody that's like in major command of everything, but noteworthy people. In addition to that, you can see that there are other socialites that Dr. Prasic you recognize in the area. And in addition, and quite out of place looking, there are a few USV military personnel who have been apparently invited to the evening's event. These Vinlanders look like they're military personnel, probably in the upper brass of the Army or Navy. They've been extended invitations, like essentially because Gryderdam is being very gracious to the people that are helping them like out of this situation. But they look out of place, and they themselves know it by their faces. They're like, kind of like, am I wearing the right shit tonight? And you take a little bit of comfort in that, Mr. Vought, seeing them a little bit out of place.
People, they're my people, right? It's like I constantly feel out of place here because I barely have a passing understanding of the language.
But it's a fairly humid summer evening, like early summer evening, and people are out in their best dress, like basically trying to flex on each other.
Whose money looks the biggest?
Yeah, 1 second. This is not quite the feel I'm going for. Here we go.
Wake me up inside!
Oh my god. And the valet takes your car and parks it, well, somewhere unseen by you. They will, of course, bring it back out when you're ready to leave. There doesn't seem to be a line. It seems like everybody who is here is expected. Which even more exclusive places still like verify, but this is one of those like really exclusive places where the clientele is kind of known. In fact, Hakan is the one who actually has a table just waiting here, right? Prasic family being fucking incredibly rich can afford to just have a table on standby. As do most of the people who come and frequent this place. This is where some of the highest level deals in Octorind are brokered over, some of the most expensive alcohols in the world, as well as some of the most expensive entertainment in the world. It is very unlikely, given your knowledge of Miss Shriver, that she would actually be booked at a place like this. While she is talented from what you've seen, I mean, this is like the place that like Pavarotti would sing, or I would say,
not that good, is
if
what
she was,
you're saying.
yeah, if she was booked as the entertainment for the night, it's unlikely that this would be the place that would pick her up. She's good, like you said, but not that good. You guys walk up to the doorman, and the doorman looks at Dr. Prasic for a second and says, "Hey, Hakan. Oh. You must be Hakan's brother."
Yep. Flat.
Yep. He kind of looks around. Your brother's table then?
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
All right, come on in. Stepping into this place, by contrast to most of the places that you've been, it is one of the most moneyed establishments that you've seen since coming to Octorind, for those who are not, of course, Dr. Prasic. Dr. Prasic, you've been here a couple of times as well, and you know that Hakan and his wife, and his family, I should say, have a like for this place, a taste for it, I suppose.
I assume I've stopped at the door.
Yeah, you're not allowed in.
Something happened?
There's a no robots allowed thing.
It's just straight up no robots allowed.
Yeah, they're not letting in constructs, essentially. Though, I don't know, but I don't think that you would have queued up to go in anyways. Or at least I think that, reasonably speaking, Dr. Prasic would have told you, like, hey, this is not, like, a place they let you in.
Yeah, no, we kind of talked about that initially. It was like we kind of want him to stay outside and watch the place in case something happens, then he can come in. But generally speaking, we don't expect any trouble. We just want some eyes outside watching the place.
Now, that said, as a legal citizen, you could try and argue here, but let's be honest, arguing in front of high society about your rights never really seems to work for, especially a minority of one. It doesn't really have much success.
Robot uprising
Damn,
incoming.
man, that just got real.
That being said, you can argue that if you'd like. But Dr. Prasic kind of, I think, makes it relatively clear that this is like for certain people only. Well, for meat people only.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting him in. And well, we kind of said this already. It was like the intention was not to get him in, but rather to have him outside watching in case something goes down. We do see her,
Yeah.
or in case something happens. Like we need someone who's like not a meatbag who can fucking take a hit.
So that said, Spoon, would you like to actually walk up to the door?
Just kill
Yeah,
me.
I figured my character at this point would just be used to it. And Shriver's not here to try and, like, bail him out with her fucking fame. Not that I think it would work here anyway.
Yeah, figures. I'll be over here. I'll try not to drill him with a buck that tries to bug me.
Do try to behave, Terminus.
You say that like I'll be going to them.
So, all right. So you sit out there. The valet takes the car. You're standing on the curb. You watch as the rest of your human companions walk into the establishment, and you can see other people arriving for this evening's social gathering. And they're laughing and enjoying themselves. And you're sitting out there in the fucking humid air of the night, just kind of watching. The rest of you guys walk in, and you can see this is a place that is definitely true high society. You can see essentially the most expensive things around on people, as far as like accessories, or like somebody walks in wearing a fucking like lion skin cloak, just shit like that. The ostentatious level of like braggadocious exhibition is on display everywhere. And the interior of the establishment kind of shows the same level of like almost gaudy exhibition of riches. What is this? You walk in and you can see what looks like a singer. You can roll common knowledge if you want to identify said singer. But you see a singer on the stage who is probably the night's talent. Wow, on a 9. Good job. You see the Knight's Talent sitting up in a like white sequin dress that makes her reflect light as if she's covered in diamonds on the stage. The electric spotlighting in the room really just throws the sparkles everywhere across the room. And most of the rest of the area is relatively dark by comparison. Still, you can see candlelights on tables, wait staff going around to tables offering drinks. You see Dr. Prasic on that roll, a woman who is a famous singer named Amalia Heckman. She is a Valois trained opera singer, as well as like I guess part-time actress. She's also, since film is like a thing that's really kind of blowing up right now, been in a couple of films, but she's more well known for opera singing. And you guys make your way in, and each table has a personal valet, right? So you have a man he doesn't wait other tables, only your table. And he sits you guys at Hakan's table. And Hakan's table is just to the right of center stage. Looking across at the other like people, you can recognize Dr. Prasic, you being well versed in the society of Greiterdam, can see like the Arnberg family table. You can see like the Crowfords like sitting across from you. And you even recognize a Radzivil, far left sage, who is sitting there with two of his guests. it's kind of a who's who, and you can see some people look over at your table, and after a second of looking to see Hakan, they see you there and raise a glass to you, like noting that you're there.
Give a nod back to anyone.
Without even asking, Hakan's like favorites, like his favorite kind of scotch, is brought to the table with some hors d'oeuvres as well. And of course, the valet tells you his name, and should you need anything, he is essentially waiting by in the dark on your every whim. This is not the song I want.
It is once
Jesus
we find
Christ.
the mobsters.
Yeah.
Right. That's coming up. Sorry, guys.
Uh-huh.
I was going through a bunch of tabs and let that one go.
Terminus!
I've been trying to keep it here, but
That's it.
anyways.
Outcomes
as you guys sit down,
1911.
That was fast.
you guys sit down and like start taking in the show. Some of you, like namely Vought, who understands what this kind of engagement is like, but isn't really his flavor, begins like boredly looking through the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to see if I can spot any of the tall hat wearing dudes.
Gaston.
Right.
Out on the outside of the building, Terminus, you're sitting there like out in the night's air, hanging about, and somebody walks over to you. 1 second.
Yep, I'm just currently metaphorical nose in a logbook right now. Drawing something.
Ask you for your autograph. You learn to write your name.
My apologies. I'm going through notes.
It's fine.
Dude, I love this song.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You see, where is it? You see a man come along up the curb. He's wearing what looks like a trench coat and a very nice hat that you kind of recognize. After a moment of like processing, you recognize the man from the hospital. You recognize the man as being the one who essentially extracted Nadia Shriver from the hospital with his goons. The kind of middle-aged looking, square-chinned man. You see him walk in and he looks in your direction, and in mid-sentence with the doorman, he raises a hand to the doorman, and doorman stops speaking. He walks over to you. He walks up with a unlit cigarette in his mouth and says, "You got a light?"
I do. You still have Shriver?
She's still safe.
Good.
She says good thing about you and your boys.
I hope so. I killed at least 4 men in that warehouse.
I light up my acetylene torch and slowly careen it towards the cigarette.
Without any hint of fear, he leans into the acetylene torch and lights his cigarette.
Grab him by the neck. Burn his eyes out.
He says,
Yeah, kill
the rest of
her.
your boys here tonight?
They are.
I'll have to go and say my thanks to them as well. You coming in?
My character looks pointedly at the no robot sign and then back to him.
He looks at you for a second. Sorry, go ahead.
Citizen or not, I don't think I'm getting in there.
He says, let's see what we can do about that. He gives you a nod. He says, Eric DeCamp. I work for the Penrose family. I think you probably already know that. Come on, with me.
Terminus and Dink.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
He walks up to the doorman. The doorman, for a moment, looks with a hint of protest in his eyes, looking at Eric DeCamp, and says, "You know, come on, Mr. DeCamp." And Mr. DeCamp says, "I'm not sure if you're aware, but this particular robotic unit has been given sovereign citizenship by the royal family. He's no different than you or me. Let him in, or I'll call the authorities to have a chit-chat about it." He looks for a second, and you see him look back into the establishment. He says, "All right, this is on you. You're responsible for him." You see Mr. DeCamp look at him with a regard that seems to be like, "Don't be so cheap." To the man. The doorman kind of balks away from Mr. DeCamp. Says, "Mr. Zandink, shall we?"
Certainly.
You walk into the room and you see the lavish area. And after a few moments of looking around in the dark and seeing past the singer, who's essentially showing like a kaleidoscopic constellation of lights from her sequin dress being spotlit around the room, you can make out the Prasic table where your comrades are at. And he actually ushers you over to a table that is in the back of the room in the dark, one of the larger tables. And he says, "If you'd like to be considered my guest, you can sit here with us. You can enjoy your friends. We can talk after the show. Your choice." He gives you a nod.
I don't often get to talk to new faces. I'll relish the opportunity.
You're welcome to have a seat if the chair will take it, or if the chair will take your weight.
Oh, called you fat.
Could I do an engineering check to make sure the chair can actually hold me?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. You're a little bit dubious whether or not the chair will hold you. It's well made, but of course, you weighing in excess of like 400 pounds, it's not really kind of meant for you.
My character will kind of adopt the thinker-looking position.
I'd rather not risk it.
He nods.
Lock your hydraulics in.
Your terminus, Zandink. That's what you're going by these days?
Correct.
Yeah, Nadia said she preferred calling you Dash.
That's a shame.
He shrugs. He says, "Hey, we appreciate what you and your boys are doing for the city. We like to consider ourselves somewhat civic-minded individuals as civilians as well. Rest assured she's doing well."
That's reassuring.
1 second.
Oh boy, sure is a nice night to do some fishing.
All right. Sorry, I had to make a quick note. He says, so how can we thank you guys for busting up Alyosha's men and getting our girl back to the hospital? Mr. Penrose's. Well, he's going to approach you guys, but he didn't know how you guys would feel about that. It seems to be a bit fortuitous that you would show up here tonight.
Half happenstance and half deduction on the part of that one over there.
The
Vought?
character points to Vought, yeah.
Yeah, he says, Vought?
Correct. He found a pamphlet leading to this place. Figured we'd make up an appearance.
Gotcha. Well, it's good to get to see you guys here. We're going to be doing our best part to take back what's ours. And we want you to know that we appreciate you guys being on the right side of history. So, if you want to tell your boys, let them know that Penrose family owes them a debt. They'd be appreciated. Save me some legwork. You don't smoke or eat anything, I guess, right?
Correct.
He nods.
I burn up the good diesel though.
He says, well, tonight you're the guest of the Penroses. So feel free to hang around and don't let nobody bother you. There's not a whole lot of kindness towards your species, your people in this town right now. They think you're property.
In most cases, they'd likely be right.
Well, there's definitely something special about you. Royal Commission's giving you citizenship. That's got to count for some. But just make sure you let your boys know that we appreciate the work that you guys have done in Octorand.
Will do, Mr. Penrose. And I'm certain that Nadia is more than welcome to visit.
I'm Mr. DeCamp. Mr. Penrose is, of course, well, he's the top of the ladder. I just do some work on the side for him. You know, smooth things out.
Politics and schmoozing is new to me.
Understandably. If you need anything from us, let us know. Like I said, we're in your debt.
If I think of
Alright.
anything, I'll let you know. I'm not used to receiving thanks.
Well, you have it. I'm going to end the game here, and we will pick up next session in the Lilac Wreath and see where this takes us.
Sounds good.
Can you,
Alright.
for next session, can you have a song ready that she sings that you're going to actually sing to us yourself?
Yes, I can do that.
Wow.
For sure.
She
All
sings
right.
the shit
I'm
out
gonna
of me.
sing. I'm gonna sing the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit song to you,
Oh god.
as in a husky, sultry voice.
I mean, that's the only way you can sing it. You know, I mean, that's the way to be.
I mean, I don't think I will complain on it, to be honest. That's kind of interesting. It might, who knows? Might take off. Might be like WAP, and everybody makes a remix of it.
That's true.
Return of the Y boner.
What?
The Y boner.
Oh, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Yeah, he gets
Totally.
it.
There's the demonetization I was looking for.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for playing, and we'll see you on whatever day is not today. It's Sunday, right? I'll see you on Sunday.
Sunday. Yep. All right, later, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.